Mate.
Yeah, you got one binoculars on, do you? Got them over there. Yeah.
And looking a treat as he comes out onto the ground here.
For this year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, just...
Oh, golly.
I love these. I've done a couple of these last year.
Oh,
They're terrific.
Oh,
5:30.
yeah.
Like, it's just the right time of night.
Yeah.
The wind's usually
hard
died
for
a
the
bit.
players, but they sit on their bums all day.
Yeah, it must be difficult to gears them.
Find something to do. Yeah.
Probably even harder than a night game, right?
The umpire out there now,
half
Brucey.
day, half night, but the light's so good, mate.
Mate, which one's the kid, mate? He's on
The kid's holding the footy in the middle now.
I thought he might have been the bloke on the left, Peter Cameron.
Pete's pretty pumped. He's going to do something really big today.
Actually, it looks untidy, doesn't it, Donny? Yeah, Don, anything for you, young fella? Seeing you're the boss? Been quite happy with you so far, Donny.
That's yours, sir. I'll just...
Can you just put those over there? So, mate, who are the there are 4 changes to both sides now, aren't there? Quite a few changes.
I'm out. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Don, I could say something about that. he's been there before.
Yeah, the backside in.
17-year-old boy, boundary umpiring on the left. He's the youngest. What's his name? Darren Wilson. Is it seen you, mate? Yeah, that's right. Big day for the kid.
So no books?
You got enough on top? Got up here?
Oh. Here we go.
See, I tell you what, Donny, the record of these two clubs, could you remind me, please? I reckon it'll be a pretty hard one, wouldn't it? It's 23-5 at Victoria Park from memory. The only time they played, right? Slaughterhouse.
Actually, they had the pre-season game practice match.
Yeah. I think Adelaide won.
And will they still be smarting from the Manson hockey incident?
Yeah, Hockey got reported in suspension.
What about hit?
That's right. Oh. Kemp was good yesterday.
He's a good player. Right?
Actually, yeah.
Heady hamstring.
You were dead right. Very early. Well, you thought the week before, didn't you?
Well,
he got away with it.
Got away with it, you see, but second half he was bad, mate. And McKenna, like, put him out the pasture.
Well, he could be 6 weeks old. I think the 2 was...
No. First 30 seconds.
Adelaide and Collingwood.
Who's with him? Who's running with him, mate?
Gary Forster.
Gary Forster. Tell you what else, Donny, I'd like to have an even 1,000. There'll be a blue within a minute. been a sellout for more than a fortnight. Adelaide versus Collingwood at Football Park. The Crows have been waiting for the Magpies all season, and it's the first time that Collingwood played an official AFL game in Adelaide. The Crows need to win to maintain any hope of the top six. Collingwood, slightly embarrassed by losing their own centenary match, will want to bounce back. Adelaide versus Collingwood on AFL Live. And it's a very warm welcome from Football Park in Adelaide for the first of the evening matches for 1992. And you've come with us right on cue because the Adelaide Crows are making their way onto the ground tonight. A capacity crowd, more about that later. It has been a sellout for more than a fortnight. Collingwood already out there. And the atmosphere here is like a grand final. I've been to a number of grand finals at this ground and seen some very famous matches. And tonight has a feeling just like that. Well, for Adelaide, tonight is D-Day, as they say here, because if they don't win tonight, their finals hopes will take a big dive. They were thrashed by St Kilda at Moorabbin, thrashed by Geelong at Cardinia Park, and they struck a body blow during the week when Tony McGuinness went down with appendicitis and could miss up to 4 weeks. But their opponents, well, they've had a couple of setbacks too. They were embarrassed last Thursday night before a huge crowd at the MCG, over 83,000, when they were beaten in their own centenary match by their arch rivals, Carlton. And Tony Shaw copped a suspension after a trial by video and will be out for a number of weeks, so the leader won't be with Collingwood tonight. Let's check the record of the two teams. They've only played the once. Collingwood won by plenty, 123 points at Victoria Park last year. Well, working with me tonight is Ross Glendinning, and Ross, it's very hard not to be captured by the atmosphere here tonight. It's tremendous.
Terrific, Bruce, and perhaps a bit of rain expected later, but the ground, there was a game beforehand and the players handled the conditions very well, so it's ideal, Bruce.
Let's look at the Adelaide team. 4 changes, and they do look a little weakened.
Yeah, they do. They're not that impressive on paper, although what I think is going to... Modra has played well, 8 goals in the previous week. Hart, 9 in the local competitions. They've got some goal kickers back. They lack height, though, Bruce. That's their one problem.
For Collingwood, also 4 changes now because Krasiska is out and they're going to miss Shaw's leadership.
Yes, Mark Fraser comes into that side. Their forward line, tall, mobile. Dacos, of course, is an absolute champion. Monkhorst, a big job in the ruck tonight, and his contest v Micken will be a good one.
Bit lucky that Kelly's coming back just at the right time with Christian going out. Okay, we're working with Ross and myself tonight will be Max Stevens on the boundary line, and in the dressing rooms, and our co-commentator will be Peter McKenna. Well, one 17-year-old here tonight will be creating history, and he's not playing for Collingwood or the Crows. He's running the boundary. Darren Wilson's his name. Max Stevens caught up with him during the week.
Yes, this will be a big opportunity for me. I've been waiting for a little while for this game, and I'm glad I've got it now.
I could be wrong, I could be right. I could be black, I could be white.
Now, who do you barrack for?
I used to barrack for Collingwood in the VFL, and as soon as the Crows went into the competition, well, being a South Australian, I thought I'd better barrack for the Crows.
It's not going to sway you on Sunday, is it?
Nah, on the field, don't barrack for anyone, You're there to umpire.
Situation now win. Rush for a change of atmosphere.
At any stage, do you feel like grabbing it and giving it a kick?
You do in a way, but you can't really.
You get told off?
Yeah, you'd get dropped down under 17s or something. You can't do that, no.
Now, come Sunday, you're going to be pretty nervous, aren't you?
At the moment, it's all right, but Saturday night before the game, I think I'll really be sweating it out and really, really nervous.
Well, you reckon you'll be shaking?
Probably, yes.
Right, now, have you got a message for all those Crows supporters and Collingwood supporters that might give you a little bit of flack on the weekend?
You can give me all you want, but I'll be still doing my job. Don't worry about it.
Welcome back to Football Park in Adelaide. Great scenes here. 48,000 people, capacity crowd, a sellout, as we said, for more than a fortnight. It's jammed packed and there's a real atmosphere. Now for the Mitsubishi Motors Ground Report. It's a very good evening to Max Stevens.
Good evening, Bruce. Well, for the last 8 to 10 days here in Adelaide, we've had quite a bit of rain. In fact, it's rained all of those days. But at this stage, I can't see any rain, but I tell you what, I reckon it's definitely going to come. Our current temperature is 10 degrees, and we're looking for an overnight low of 6 degrees. The wind straight down the middle of the ground may be favouring the outer pocket. The goal advantage, none whatsoever. Ground surface, well, it could be a little slippery underfoot. And the forecast, cold and the chance of a few showers, and unfortunately, that's a boundary commentator's nightmare, Bruce.
I'm sure you will survive, Max. Max, who are you going for?
Well, unfortunately, I'll have to say Collingwood. I mean, this is going to be a grand final for the Crows tonight, Bruce, but despite the home ground advantage, I'm going for the Magpies.
Well, we've welcomed Max Stevens. Peter McKenna's joined us tonight. It is a terrific feeling here, Peter, isn't it?
It certainly is. Grand final-like atmosphere, as you said, Bruce. And well, the Magpies will be very, very keyed up after being beaten by their arch rivals Carlton on the Thursday night in that big match. Crows very difficult to beat here, but McGuinness out of that side and big John Klug will make a big difference to the Crows, and I'm tipping that the Magpies will get home.
Collingwood, okay. Ross Glendinning.
Yes, well, I think certainly, as I said in the intro, Bruce, they look better on paper.
There's some drama here. Craig Kelly.
Kelly ran through the pack of Crows.
And McDermott had a word to him, and Peter Cameron's gone down to have a word to Kelly. So, sorry, Ross, to interrupt there, but it was all happening.
Yeah, I think if the Crows have got any substance tonight, they've got to show it, and I just think they might get across the line.
Going for an upset. Well, Collingwood are the favourites.
Kelly playing in a forward pocket alongside young Shane Watson, Bruce.
Tasker's got the job on Kelly, so some changes here. See if you can pick up, Ross, where the Fraser's actually on the ground. Yes, he is at centre wing, I think.
Yep.
Well, listen to that roar. Monkhorst to go against Micken, who was the best and fairest at Adelaide last year. Monkhorst crashes his way through, gets stopped in his tracks. Jarman has the first kick of the match. Russell, formerly of Sturt. First time the Collingwood players have been here in a home and away match. And Smart, who's had a very slow start to this season, was brilliant last year. The AFL Team of the Year takes the mark.
Yes, Nigel Smart to the half-forward line. It is thumped away by Ingerson. It's out towards centre wing. Shane Morwood picks it up beautifully. Around the corner he goes on the right foot. Waiting underneath it again is Nigel Smart, and he takes a safe mark. And he will get better as each game unfolds because missed a lot of the early part of the season. Smart from half-back towards the centre wing area. Monkhorst, the big fist, towards the half-forward line off the boot of Morwood. Dacos was there. Bickley's picking him up. And that's understandable.
When Pete did that centre bounce, Peter Dacos copped a beauty, and he took a long time to get off the ground on his feet. He's still suffering. Caught one on that left side, so he had his hand on it there. He's a sore boy at the moment.
Monkhorst goes against Micken. Jarman for his second kick. Round the body this time with a high one. Richardson getting underneath it. Ingerson comes in late. Francis, who would adore to play a big game here tonight. Brown with him, and it'll be a throw-in at centre wing. Francis and Brown. Brown back for his first game in 4 weeks, and Peter Cameron on the scene and giving a free kick, and don't the Crow supporters enjoy that. So Brown to half forward. Saunders over the top of Hart. Ingerson on his left foot goes towards the goal square. McEwen playing in defence tonight. Might get one-hander.
He's a class player, this fella. He's kicked 8. The local team last week played fairly well in the state game Tuesday night, and I think he's got a lot going for McEwen. The front posse, very strong player. Modra held his own there. What a clever mark.
Second game for the Crows from 30 metres out. The drop punt's good. It's a goal. The Crows get the first through Modra, and they lead by 6 points.
With the Scott Hodges missing, we have Modra taking that full forward position. I thought there might have been a free kick to Hart with Saunders all over the back of him. We'll see this again. Terrific one-on-one duel there, and a bit of skill by Modra.
Good start to Adelaide. Ron McEwen playing in defence. Well, someone's encroached in the centre. That's not good play by the Magpies. McDermott. Oh, Modra again. And no mark. As the Magpies come away through Gary Pert towards centre wing. Almost a mark it was to Modra up there. It's shuffled out to Nigel Smart. He's collared.
I would have played that, Pete, the mark.
Well, it looked a mark, didn't it? But maybe he didn't take it on the way down.
Gate for picking up Jamison.
McGuan with Jarman too, Ross.
Yep, right on lip tack.
So a lot of matchups here. Brown, Micken, Francis, Smart. Bickley got rid of it in a hurry. Tony Francis caught, holding the footy.
Yeah, he was looking for a high tackle, but the arm just coming across the back, not quite around the neck. So, well done, Smart.
Well, they're screaming for 50, but it would have been a tough one.
And Moore copped a poke in the eye too. He's in the hands of the trainers at the moment.
Well, plenty happening, and it was expected. High one by Smart. Doesn't get a lot of distance. Rather weak kick in the end, only about 40 metres. Punched away by Pert. Francis missing it, and Smart just lopes after it and out of bounds on centre wing. Well, tension will be high. Here's McDermott and Francis. Free kick against McDermott, so there's a lot happening on and off the footy.
Yeah, Bickley and Francis had a bit of a niggle, and McDermott just stepped in, and therefore the free kick to Francis.
Well, Tony Francis back in his hometown, as Bruce said earlier, would be very keen to impress. Class player Francis to the half-forward line. 2 Crows against 1 Magpie. It's tapped on by Scott Lee. Picked it up beautifully. Onto Tregenza. A wild hand pass to no one in particular. Players race at it. Ingerson can't get his... tried to punch it away. Actually, his arms were pinned. So good umpiring by Peter Cameron right on the scene. Almost at half-forward for the Crows. They've started well with a quick goal to Modra. A lot of feeling out there. A vital game for both sides, particularly Adelaide. There's Scott Lee again around the corner on the left foot. Oh, danger here for the Magpies as the loose ball comes up to lip tack. Back to Brown. Brown loses in the tackle. Socket off the ground by Pert. Jamie Turner brings it to the half-forward line. Will float over the back. Starcevic, he's got 2 or 3 to beat. Good play, Craig Starcevic, as he kicks it forward towards half-forward. Hart went without it. There's Wiedemann, and he hooks it out to Nigel Smart.
He's had a lot of touches. Kick to Lee, who's got the job on Russell, so he's playing up the ground tonight. Goes in short. Unable to take the mark was Schwert. Here's Turner playing his 150th. Dacos, Mr. Magic. Short, good kick. Lehman back on the side tonight.
Pass was actually meant for Watson, I think, Bruce, but still, numbers are there.
Lehman from 50 metres. Drop punch. He's kicked it very well for distance and hooked it from behind. First score to Collingwood. They celebrated their centenary 8 days ago, and I think Adelaide in its 2nd year. Morwood off the ground. So the most famous football club in Australia up against the newest in AFL. Morwood straight to the rooms.
Well, it's obviously, it would be an eye injury, as Ross Glendinning pointed out. If he copped a finger in the eye, there's Moncourse. That's good play. The big fist towards Watson. Here's the dangerous Dacos. And unusually for Peter Dacos, he hurried the kick and put it out in the full, much to the delight of the Adelaide fans. Scott Lee. Good, solid, reliable defender. He's been an excellent player for Adelaide. To the half-back line. Micken in front. Monkhorst at the back. He's playing a disciplined game. Brown. Sweeping hand pass. Starcevic just took his eyes off it. Jarman. Oh, wild hand pass by Jarman. It's at half-back. That was Schwert on the Wiedemann. Now Brown. They've got the running place. This is Schwert again getting the kick to half centre wing, and the mark has been paid. And it is Tregenza.
Monkhorst should have tackled there. He tried to use hip and shoulder.
Get some distance, Tregenza. Pert, big fly, good mark. Height advantage against Hart. Swings it wide to Francis. Wright was also there. So the man who made his mark with Norwood as a teenager, best and fairest last season at Collingwood, to centre wing. Starcevic, Maynard, Micken from the side, front spot, juggles it, not paid. Handball okay by Jamison, taken by Tregenza. Modra's on a long lead and takes a chest mark. A mistake really by Saunders in the end.
Just was too concerned about Hart, and was a very ordinary effort there by Saunders, but great pace by Tregenza. Magnificent pace to get away there.
And Ronnie McEwen seemed to wait back then and didn't go with Modra.
Well, he's obviously expecting Saunders to come back and assist him there, Pete.
Well, he's already kicked the first. Let's see if Modra can kick this from about 48 metres out. Drop punt, he's kicked it pretty well. It's a chance, just fading away and not quite making the distance. Thumped away by Pert for a behind. 1-1 Adelaide, a point Collingwood.
Well, the kick a little bit too high and was caught up there in the breeze. Not a huge breeze here this evening. And watching the earlier game between Central Districts and South Adelaide, they were scoring goals at both ends. Gary Pert, former Fitzroy champ, and has made a great recovery from a knee reconstruction. One of his features is his great kicking, and that one right out to the half-back line. Here's Dacos. Around the corner he goes, out towards centre wing, and the ball rolls over. Scoreboard shows a goal, the margin. Adelaide 1-1, but the Magpies are behind. There's Ron McEwen, who's got the big job in defence on Modra.
Micken to go with Starcevic, who is used often around the ground in ruck situations. Schwert unable to get a kick. Wiedemann caught. Schwert over the top. Quick hands to McDermott. Wobbly one, not a particularly good kick. Richardson runs into a brick wall, does very well. Wright loves to do this. Charge and take off. One bounce, then centres it, plays it right down the middle. Smart and Micken come in from the side. Good take though by Lehmann. Can goal from here. Goes for it from 40 metres and kicks it through. Scores a level, and Lehmann and Modra have kicked the 7 points each.
Yeah, good play there from Lehmann. Good pace, read that very nicely, and pace to get away from Jarman, who was chasing, not quick enough. Just watch this again. Smart, very solid in from the side. Picked up and beautifully read Jarman. Not the pace to run Lehmann down, and he finished off very well.
Scores a level after that great goal by Troy Lehmann. Now again a player is in crates. That's twice against Collingwood.
Wiedemann actually pushed Lehmann into the centre square.
Well, that's McDermott to the half-forward line. It's thumped down by Saunders. Well picked up by Graham Wright. Still trying to trap that ball. And good umpiring by Peter Cameron as Crows players trying to appeal for holding the ball. Half-forward for Adelaide. Monkhorst is there. Should tap it down. He taps it wide to Alan Richardson. He's dispossessed. Brown is there after him. Also Ingerson. And players really having a go. As we said earlier, a vital game. Adelaide wouldn't want to lose this one and fall behind the pack. And Collingwood have lost games to Hawthorn and Carlton. Monkhorst getting most of the tap outs. There's Darryl Hart. To the half-forward line. Richardson back to the flight. Couldn't mark it, and over the line it goes.
Max, what's the situation with Shane Morwood?
Well, he's down in the rooms, Bruce. He has a cut above his eye, and it would appear it will require stitches.
Monkhorst wins the tap clearly. Russell running onto it. Good handball by McGuire on the up, though. Francis. Quick kick away towards Starcevic, who takes it well. That was from Brown for Collingwood. Starcevic at centre wing. Gets good distance. To half-forward, Maynard going back and takes a comfortable mark against Fraser. Dangerous kick. Brown has to go. Makes it in front of Turner.
Well done. Protecting himself well.
Wiedemann through the centre. To centre half-forward. Not a good kick. Monkhorst should take it, and he does. At centre half-back. Sweeps a dangerous handball. Well played, right. Starcevic, excellent skills. To take it in one hand. Left foot, a wobbly one. A difficult one. Micken. Lee. Quick kick back to centre half-forward. Ingerson with a fly. And rips it away.
This is Schwert. The short one is on Modra. Oh, he's underneath it. McEwen. Handball's back over his head. And if that pass was good, it might have been a certain goal to Adelaide.
Terrific matchups here. McDermott on Dacos, McGuire on Jarman. Just some very skillful players matching up where they stay that way. Some great contests.
Half-forward for Adelaide. Good umpiring again because Monkhorst was shepherded out of that ruck duel. A hand pass across to Gary Pert. He kicks it wide, looking for the pace of Lehmann. Lehmann races after it, but he overruns it. Wiedemann, they love him here. Famous Collingwood name, of course, too. Wiedemann, but a poor kick by Wiedemann. He's gone straight to Tony Francis. Francis will swing onto the left. Kicks it wide to centre wing. Mick McGuire. Been in good form this year. Vital player for Collingwood, McGuire. In towards half forward, a pack of players congregate. Over the back. Watson brilliantly to Dacos. Great play by the youngster. Dacos sets sail for home and misses to the right. So 2 bad kicks by the Collingwood champ, but he's not happy with himself.
Yeah, good quick hands there too, as you mentioned, Pete. Very skillful. Certainly you'd expect Dacos to finish off better than he has tonight.
Rain coming down in Adelaide. It's not heavy, but it's steady, and it's going to make it difficult. Lee gets good distance, an excellent kick. Smart in the front spot, couldn't quite take the mark, but he brought it down well. Jarman now hard to Tregenza, loves to run. Second bounce. He's got Adelaide players running with him. The kick to Modra in the pocket. With him McEwen. Well played McEwen that time. Saunders and Hart. Saunders to the boundary line. Throw in. Crow fans scream deliberate.
Bruce, that was good running with the support he had from his teammates, but he had the chance to centre the ball. They pushed themselves out wider and wider. Had plenty of time to come back. Not good play by Modra leading that way.
Moncourse. Richardson back with Moncourse. A high kick. Body on body. And the mark to Schwert against Turner. Collingwood leading by a point. Schwert goes towards full forward. That's a better directed kick. Modra goes against Moncourse. Does all right. Hart unable to control it. Still Hart looks for a free kick.
Free kick, yes.
Gets it.
Correct call, Bruce.
And normally very accurate, Ross. He's a man who gets 5 or 6 touches often in this level of footy and kicks 3 or 4 goals.
Yes, well, he kicked 14 in his 18 games last year. He's only got 3 goals for year to date, but he did kick a bag for last week. His home club, North Adelaide, kicked 9.
Let's see if he's accurate here. From 35 metres out, drop punt. Misses.
He ran very close to the man on the mark.
Didn't he? And bad miss for Adelaide, but when you think that Dacos has had 1 sitter for him and 1 relatively easy one and scored just 1 point, then you can't say that Adelaide have had any bad luck.
Well, there's a slight breeze going left to right. The Collingwood are kicking with a beautiful kick by Ronnie McEwen. Down the ground, socket off the ground by McGuan. Lehman and Schwert both put in pacey players. Lehman went past it. Schwert gave it across to Jarman. Scott Russell and Lee almost threw that over the line, and it will be a throw in on centre wing. Scott Lee started his career at Hawthorn. The Adelaide fans, well, it's a sellout crowd, capacity crowd of about 48,000 here, and every seat filled. There's Gavin Brown, the centre wing. Maynard, good honest player Maynard. Scott Lee brings it in towards Modra. Modra comes out in front. That's good play. He's impressive, Ross.
Well, what good play, because he backed off initially into McEwen, and McEwen could have had a chance to get around to the front posse. The ball set up for him. He read that very well, Modra.
Well, they're definitely kicking the ball further left to right. So if Modra could kick his second, it'd be a handy little break for Adelaide. Tony Modra, oh, he laid right back on that, and you can see he kicks the ball far too high, and the wind gets hold of it and takes it to the right. So that's 2 similar kicks. Bad misses by the full forward. 1-3. Plays 1-2. And this is Alan Richardson in the back pocket.
It's a half-back. Brown pushed out of it by Tregenza, unable to take the mark. Jarman, quick hands. Bickley across to McDermott. Not a good kick. Moncourse, oh, he went to ground. No free kick. Yes, free kick against Moncourse. Jamison.
He had his hands on the ball momentarily, but it was a very ugly free kick there by Moncourse. Not using his brains at all there.
And this man, dare I say, can kick a footy. Here's the free kick.
He's had a fair haircut too.
Yeah. Well,
it's a 1992 haircut, Roscoe.
Peter, you remember him kicking a goal or 2 against Fitzroy, don't you?
He's a magnificent kick, Jamison, normally.
Don't you dare say murder if he kicks this one. 40 metres out, drop punt, as he made the difference with a goal. Adelaide 2-3-1-2, and their goal scorer Jamison has kicked his first.
Yes, and Jamison getting that free kick. He staged a little bit, but he did have his hands on the ball momentarily. See his, and just Moncourse just indiscriminately just threw him out of the contest. Very costly free kick.
7-point margin to Adelaide, and they're going in very, very hard, as the umpire will have to bounce this one. But Ross, it's going to be a hard slog because the rain is tumbling down. There's James Manson. Look at the eye of Shane Morwood. There's Eddie Hillgrove, the team manager. But, well, it's going to be a hard slog.
Make it very greasy, Pete. The ball's going to be hard to handle.
Brown got in the hand pass. So the umpire calling for a play on that was Brown shuffling it out. Schwert, he's working hard. Now Jamison. You can see how slippery that ball is getting. Gavin Brown goes to ground. Jarman, quick hands. Now Bickley. But the umpire said, oh, they're onto this throwing the ball lately.
As I've mentioned before, Pete, the hand's quicker than the eye.
McGuan to half forward. This is Smart, who's a very impressive player. Smart wide to the pacing Schwert. Now Schwert's a left footer and he gets onto that favoured kick. Down towards centre wing, and a good mark to Mickey McGuan.
Gafer to Pert. Pert to Dacos, or good kick.
McGafer, I should say.
Knew exactly who you meant, Pete. Now Dacos round his body. High one. Micken in the right spot. He should take it, and he does pretty well.
They need him playing well. He makes such a difference to this side, Bruce. He's such a clever footballer and holds their following division together very well.
Goes out to centre wing. Ingerson well played and out of play. Just wonder if Kelly's wasted at the moment in that forward pocket.
Well, Matthews would have started there, Bruce, because he hasn't played for 5 weeks. He'd lack any sort of match fitness, particularly if he's playing in a key role at, say, centre half back particularly. So not a bad move to start him down and allows Pert to come out to centre half back.
Dacos runs it over the line.
Well, I personally think Adelaide would be delighted with this rain because they haven't got a really tall side, have they? And I think it'll bring Collingwood's pace back to them a little bit.
So Moncourse and Ingerson again. Moncourse with a big height advantage. McGuan left foot round his body. And that one again out of play. So Mickey McGuan in the last 2 matches has taken on Williams and Jarman, who've got 2 of the quickest hands in footy. A pair of hands. And now Micken and Starcevic.
Well, it's a half forward for the Magpies. Starcevic doing the ruck work. Russell was there, but again you can see how players are finding it very difficult to pick the ball up. Tony Francis wearing the long sleeves. Got a couple of quiet ones, doesn't seem to like taggers. Andrew Collins did a good job on him, as did Matthew Hogg. Now this is Rodney Maynard. Now that's intelligent play to go back towards the boundary line in defence. And that looks like a rugby scrum, and Peter Cameron will come in and bounce.
It's a bit of a stalemate for the moment. In the last couple of minutes, Collingwood have pushed it to within 30 metres of the goal. Micken and Starcevic. Starcevic wins that one. Maynard, or high tackle by Francis, not paid. Then Francis got a high one. Wiedemann throws himself in hard. Jarman goes to ground. Quick handball. That one was okay. Lee to Micken, only as far as Richardson. Left foot, you can see how difficult it is. Wiedemann took a chance. Dacos, brilliant. Took it off him. Goes back to Russell. Takes his time. Runs round the corner. Centering kick. Kelly in the front spot. Tasker at the back. Well read though by McGuan, and a kick around his body for a behind. So Collingwood up to 1-3 to 2-3. He's made a terrific comeback, McGuan. He had such a disappointing season last year after being a star in 1990.
Yeah, correct, Bruce. He puts on weight too, so he's worked hard pre-season, and due record to him that he's come back like that.
And Jarman to Schwert. Schwert's doing very well in this first quarter. Stephen Schwert to centre wing. Players fly. It comes over the back. That's Graham Wright and Gary Pert. Oh, Pert cops one in the head. And the umpire right on the scene. This is Gary Forster. Well, the advantage being paid now as the short kick from Richardson comes to Brown. Gavin Brown to the half-forward line, and Dacos has marked. Now, will he go for the long torpedo? As he goes back, that familiar-looking kick, he hooks it across his body to the pocket, a chance for a mark, and Kelly drops it.
Well, Tasker was a bit lucky there too, Pete, because he was watching. Tasker was watching Kelly, particularly not the footy, and only the last minute to allow him to get back into the play.
Just undecided for the moment. Again, very short the second time, and coming off Schwert. Not much in that. Might have gained 10 metres and, of course, increased the Collingwood angle. But very defensive.
Oh, thought about going across goal.
To Hart, but he decided not to. Now to halfback, Micken in the front spot. Good grab in the conditions. Monkhorst unable to get the punch away from the back. So Micken from halfback. Adelaide going quite defensive at the moment, leading into the breeze. Ingerson takes the mark. Rain continuing to tumble down and getting a bit heavier. So Ingerson, another first-year player for Adelaide, from centre wing to half forward. Maynard's run right down. Brown with him. A handball by Bickley didn't go to anybody in particular. Francis running it over the boundary line. And again a throw in. But Adelaide have worked it up to about half forward.
Well, they're pretty keen on their football here, and they'll have to be tonight, braving the elements. Monkhorst getting most of the hit-outs. There's Jarman off the ground. Michael Gafer, who played so well for New South Wales Tuesday night. Rodney Jamieson around the corner. Modra, almost took it again, and it's thumped over the line. But he's been very impressive, playing in front of Ronnie McEwen. Forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows. The impressive start by them. Ingerson, the flyer. Socket off the ground towards the half-back line. Gavin Brown scoops it around the boundary line, then goes to get it again. Good play by the Collingwood champ. Centre wing. It's a free kick. It's going for a holding decision here, and it will go to Dacos, way out there. Now he's looking for, he's always thinking, Peter Dacos. Look at that. He's found a loose man in Alan Richardson. Poor hand pass. Still a chance though. As racing after it is Nigel Smart off the ground, and it'll be right out towards the boundary line, and it finally rolls over.
Just shows you, Pete, doesn't just a small fumble in the centre, bad handball, more particularly from Richardson, and the ball's gone right across the ground from the Dacos free kick.
15-10, Adelaide leading. Monkhorst, Ingerson over the top. Brown went to ground, then Francis. Here's Russell. And he's kicked it out of bounds on the full under pressure. One of Collingwood's big possession getters. Oh, look at Maynard's right eye. Bleeding. Morwood already off the ground for Collingwood with an eye injury. Maynard up to centre wing. Monkhorst the front spot. Brown held, no free kick. Right. Good handball. Excellent to Gavin Brown. Left foot into the centre square. It's going to be a difficult one to take. Kelly with a big fly. Spread the pack. Now Micken. Now Maynard. Swings it wide to Tasker. Tries to set something up with a long one to half forward. Well, they all waited for it. Hart with an opportunity. Saunders with him. Hart fell over that time. The handball didn't go very far. Jamieson not good. Francis well taken, well played. Swings it out again. Here's Richardson away. Had Monkhorst short, decides to go long. Kelly the target. Tregenza with him. Kelly at the back. Jarman comes in strongly. Now Tregenza. Quick kick. Didn't really look at it come off though. Hart was in the right spot at the right time. Probably too far out, I think, to score. Going to take a very long kick from here.
Torpedo.
Goes for goal and kicks it right to the square. Big fly from Ingerson and a behind. So Adelaide up to 2-4 to 1-4. And as Peter McKenna said, they'll be pretty happy with their work today.
Yes, a goal the margin. Ronnie McEwen has been caught behind 3 or 4 times on Modra. There's Damien Monkhorst calling for it out in the pocket. Jamie Turner, though, was the target, and you can see the rain tumbling down. Gerard Healy would be if he could be. He's got a couple of fans out there, Bruce.
Well, he's got them everywhere, Peter.
Centre wing, Scott Lee, onto the left foot. And it comes off to it. The man in the spot is Chris McDermott. I admire this player. On to Swert. McDermott always works very, very hard. A poor kick by Swert, though, straight to Pert.
Short to Gavin Brown. He's starting to have an influence. Handball good to McGuan. Now Fraser in his first game tonight. Watson short. There's the kick. It'll go over the top. Hart and Watson, the two teenagers, are chasing it. Hart got a very good bounce. Kept his call to Lee. Back to Hart. Should go on to McDermott. He does. They give him a cheer. McDermott into the centre. Good kick. The vision was excellent to Bickley. This is where Adelaide played well. Wiedemann to half forward. Hart in the front spot. Well played, Saunders. Now Brown, high tackle. Should be a free kick. Advantage is played. And the siren sounds with Adelaide leading at quarter time into the breeze on a wet, wintry night. 2-4 to 1 for 16 to 10.
The Masters 626, registration number UKF 764, repeating. The Masters 626, UKF 764, parks in the West Lakes car park. Can the owner please return to the vehicle immediately? We're also looking for George Lanos, the West Lakes Shore, to the matchday office, and the owner of the Blue Masters 323, BAD 702, to return to his or her vehicle as well. Thank you.
Two other matches played today. Footscray getting away from Brisbane in the last quarter to double their score in the end, 11-18 to 6-6. And Richmond and Sydney, well, there was tight for 3 quarters, but Richmond finished with a flurry to win 19 goals 20 to Sydney 14 goals 18. Quarter by quarter scores here. Adelaide a 2-4 and Collingwood 1-4.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1992 AFL Premiership season.
Touring Car Championships recommence at Eastern Creek. It's round 6, May 24 next Sunday. Just check your papers for times there. And then the Barcelona Olympics, 69 days to go to the games of the 25th Olympiad from Barcelona. Well, Max Stevens, there was plenty happening in the first quarter. What were the coaches talking about at quarter time?
Well, first up, Lee Matthews, Bruce. Lee has told the boys that he wants them to settle down, get back to that game plan. He's told them not to worry about the free kick situation, just get on with the job. An update on Shane Morwood. Now, he's got a pretty severe cut to his eye, but I can't confirm if he's had stitches. But I understand he's had a little bit of local anaesthetic put in there, so maybe that'll help him. Yet, whether he'll come back onto the ground, as I said, I can't confirm. Graham Corn's fairly pleased with the Crows' opening quarter. However, he believes they could do a little bit more. Their efforts around the packs, he said, you're really doing the work in conditions here at Football Park that are anything but favourable. That rain is pretty steady at the moment, and I feel it's set in for the night. Now, Rodney Maynard also has a cut to his eye, but at this stage it'll need a little bit of attention, but I think the doctors will look at that at half-time.
2 for Collingwood, and Tony Maud is back on. Shane Maud, I should say.
Start of the second term. Adelaide kick to the right, Collingwood to the left, 16-10. So Kelly off, as Ross has just told us. And Max giving us all the changes there at quarter time. Jarman won that tap. Off the ground, 2 half forward. Darryl Hart with him, Saunders. Good take by Hart. McDermott, high kick towards the pocket. Getting back was Pert, unable to take it. Liptak off the ground, it didn't go anywhere. Tapped on by Fraser. Ingerson over the top, with him Gavin Brown, who was very good in the second half of the opening term. Well, Ingerson gets it out. Shot by Tregenza, not a good one. Oh, chance for Modra, and he takes the mark.
Too good.
He is very good. We've mentioned that already in the one-on-one stuff. But a few of the Collingwood players in that exchange that got the footy down there through Tregenza just sat back, was spectating, almost as if the umpire's whistle had gone.
Well, I thought for a moment it might have. Everybody seemed to stop.
Seen that way, Bruce, didn't it? Yep, my word.
Well, he should kick this, Modra. He missed a couple in the first quarter. He kicked the opening goal of the game, but only from 15 metres out, straight through for a goal. His second, he kicked a goal in the first minute of the game, and Adelaide have got the fly, just what they wanted, Ross, at 3-4 to 1-4.
Yes, and particularly in these sort of conditions, Bruce, where you see the rain falling there now, if you look at Modra on screen. But just crucial in a low-scoring game that you make every opportunity, take every opportunity you possibly can. Ingerson a good handball, and Tregenza's kick just falling short, and McEwen at this stage no idea, and he is off the ground, and Kelly is on to go down to fullback, I would say.
Well, Ronnie McEwen was led to the ball 3 or 4 times by Modra. Kelly has gone towards the centre of the ground. Actually, at the moment, there's Swert, or good wet weather play to soccer it off the ground to half forward. Now, this is Liptak. Should take it to the line.
In fact, but I think you'll find Kelly will go to centre half back, and perhaps Pert, who has taken up his position on Modra, will stay at there at fullback.
Well, I think Pert should play at fullback all the time, actually. That's where he's become a champion. Monkhorst still at half forward for the Crows. Graham Wright on the left foot has put it out on the full, and things going the way of Adelaide at the moment. Danger game for Collingwood this. Stephen Swert in towards full forward. Gary Pert at the back. Darryl Hart picks up. Thrown to the ground. The ball comes loose and rolls over the line. Forward pocket for Adelaide.
Monkhorst picks himself up. He's struggled over the last 18 months. Ingerson at the back. Good tap. Hart, high one round the corner. Modra, oh, big throw, great mark.
Oh, can he play?
What a mark that was, Roscoe.
It's terrific, and with him able to take that position, we watch this again. Look at this great jump too. Got a bit of a lift on Graham right there, but him taking over at full forward allows Jamieson to play further up the ground and takes a bit of pressure off that player. So Modra doing fairly well so far.
Well, he should go 25 metres out directly in front for his third goal. Drop punch straight through. Modra's got 3. Adelaide at 4-4 to 1-4.
Yes, and they've matched up. Graham Corns has done his homework very well as we watch this mark once more. Jarmans and McGuana having good duel. Bickley and Francis, Russell and Lee, Starcevic and Smart. There's been some terrific matchups around. The Adelaide players doing the better so far, as is showing on the scoreboard.
Well, Adelaide, a 3-goal break. Magnificent performance of full forward play at the moment by Anthony Modra. Well, we saw him play like this in a night game against Footscray out at Waverley. Jamie Turner goes to ground, too high.
He kicked 6 goals in that game, Pete, so he certainly knows what to do.
Well, he's certainly got tons of talent. In towards half forward goes Turner. Nigel Smart didn't hang on to it. Oh, it's been played. Very lucky.
Oh, you've got to pay them, Pete, in these conditions, I think.
Well, I didn't really think he held it though, Ross, that one. Nigel Smart out towards Jarman. Jarman at the back. Liptak. Scott Lee on the left foot, and going back with the flight is Michael Gayfer to take it on his chest.
Mr. Reliable in that back line for Collingwood. Their tagger. Peter said he played very well in a freer role in Sydney on Tuesday night.
And he seemed to be enjoying it too. He's running down the ground, bouncing the ball, took marks, and it was good to see he wasn't hanging on to jumpers that night.
Even got on the stat sheet, Peter. One of the big possession getters. Real specialist though with Collingwood. Jarman's handball went nowhere. Russell got a high one. Could have got a free kick. Jarman over the top of it. Ben Hart there. Lehman went in with the boot. Got it off the ground again. Smart attacks it. Played pretty well. Smart off the ground. Liptak half volleyed it. Good handball. Here's Jamison, who Ross has already mentioned. But poor kick there. Straight to Kelly. Now Richardson. Swings it wide. Turner with the run of it. Gets a reasonable bounce. Over the top. Fraser. Playing his first game, touches it on the ground. Schwert in hot pursuit. Fraser goes towards Starcevic and Watson. Watson in the front spot. Tasker at the back. Lehman round the body. Good kick, Lehman. This is a chance to go all the way. It's rolling, and unluckily for Collingwood, Wiedemann able to get back.
Yes, but again, you see that held up in the breeze. So certainly Adelaide is going with the breeze. Here's Wayne Wiedemann from half back. That's a long clearing kick. Good mark. And that's by Saunders.
Sorry, Pete. Wasted disposal. I mean, he's done all the good work. Now it's straight back to Collingwood.
McGuan to the half-forward line. Wiedemann, 2 bites, didn't take it. Taps it on, socket off the ground. Here's Nigel Smart. Good thinking by the defender to head back towards the boundary line, and again he goes back that way. That's good defensive play. Maynard to Scott Lee around the corner. Good vision. Now, this is Mark Micken, former Brisbane Bear. The chip pass. Well, they're looking good, Adelaide. They're looking dangerous. Chris McDermott, he'll love these conditions. Long kick to the half-forward line. Monkhorst in front. He played for a free kick then. Liptak on to Brown. Brown on the left foot. Where's Modra? Modra versus Pert. Pert, good play. And he was held momentarily, and a free kick to Gary Pert.
Goes short. It's Gafer, good play. Gafer, defensive side of the centre square, swings it wide and gives Saunders a run of it. Took a little while to get hold, then goes with a drop punt. Lee, Dacos. Play Dacos, round the body. Micken should take it, and he does on his chest.
And that's his value, Bruce. He reads the game so well, Micken. He just got back into position very well.
He was the surprise packet last year, winning the best and fairest after the Bears discarded him, and many thought that Adelaide didn't really want him, and he showed everybody. Now Wiedemann, he's been injured earlier this year. Wiedemann very short. Again, Adelaide playing it short in the conditions. Bickley, McDermott could get caught. Still gets his kick away and gets some distance to half forward. Kelly in the front spot. Right. Also Saunders. Now Jarman pushes it clear. Just through Peter Cameron's legs at that stage. Now right. Left foot. Not a bad kick towards centre wing. A good kick in the end. Taken by Gavin Brown. Smart on the mark. Collingwood go into attack.
Brown playing very well. Oh, poor kick though. Straight to Micken. Now Micken wants to play on. He's got a man out wide on his own. Now Lehman makes ground to get back there. Good play by Troy Lehman, but the mark was taken by Maynard. Good honest goer, Rodney Maynard. On to Tasker. Tasker from half back. A booming kick. A 65-metre kick to the half-forward line. Ingerson couldn't take it. Off the ground towards the half-forward line. Graham Wright will race back towards the line and puts it over, so it'll be a throw in at half-forward for Adelaide.
Watson coming off. Is it Watson? Yes, McEwen going up in the forward line, going to full forward.
Just saw Graham Corns a moment ago, who was in Melbourne yesterday watching West Coast, Adelaide's opponent, next Friday night. So you imagine the importance of this game when you consider West Coast coming up at the Wacker on Friday night, and Adelaide with 2 massive losses just behind them.
Yes, and it's not bad preparation too, Bruce, playing this one under lights with that game next week under lights at the Wacker.
So Ingerson and Monkhorst. Monkhorst with a strong body, just wins the tap. Quick kick by Daryl Hart, doesn't go very far. Scott Russell off the ground, concedes some ground, and a throw in. But I think Adelaide will be pretty happy with what's happening at the moment. Collingwood having real trouble scoring.
Yes, their running players of Adelaide are doing far better. They're handling these conditions, particularly players like Liptak and Brown, having far better of their opponents.
Monkhorst again won at Bickley. With him is Richardson. And again out of play, and we've seen the ball in that pocket on a number of occasions already tonight. Full house here at Adelaide. Wet conditions, and Adelaide leading 28-10.
Yes, a very handy little break so far for Adelaide. There's Monkhorst getting a lot of hit-outs. France as well. They're collaring him from all angles. There's Brown going to ground.
Oh,
now Gafer. Gafer around the corner. That was young Fraser, Mark Fraser. Now it's Bickley up in front of goal. No mark to Graham Wright. Danger here because Lord Liptak was tripped. It's got to be a free kick to Matthew Liptak. Oh, danger here for the Magpies, because if he kicks this, they'll be 4 goals behind in wet conditions.
He's kicked 15 goals in 7 games this year, so he can kick a goal.
Yes. Well, there's big James Manson warming up, but I doubt whether these conditions will suit big James. Now, lip tack from 25 metres directly in front. Kicks and goals. Well, Matthew Liptak has kicked his first, but most importantly for Adelaide, they lead by 4.
Yes, and Manson comes on the ground replacing Monkhorst, and Liptak, particularly this quarter, has been terrific around the ground. His ball handling skills, picking up half volleys, his handball has been very, very good.
Liptak with his first goal. Adelaide with a break here of 4 goals in trying conditions. Manson on for Monkhorst. Micken ran straight at Manson and then tapped it forward. Tregenza got a very good hip and shoulder from Kelly. Jarman cleverly off the ground. Getting back was Richardson. Now Turner. Swings it wide. Kelly, who's had a slow start tonight, went to the interchange bench after struggling early. And again struggles. Hart's handball back to Jarman. Jarman round the body and misses for a behind. He'll be disappointed there. 5-5-1-4. But a real pressure there on Collingwood.
Yes, Kelly got caught out there trying to get rid of the ball quickly. And it was a great handball by Hart, very sharp.
There's Eddie Hocking. He's got fond memories of Collingwood, hasn't he, in that trial match?
Well, he was playing in the earlier game tonight, and well, he had his thigh heavily strapped and went off injured. So interesting to see if he ever gets back with the Crows. Now at half-back, Jamie Turner a fumble. That could be costly. Hand pass over the top. This is Swert. Stephen Swert on the left foot. And poor kick. And he's kicked it straight to Alan Richardson. Richardson wide. McGuan was there and also Graham Wright. 2 bites and he's taken it. But Collingwood under enormous pressure at the moment. They can't seem to get any system going. Graham Wright to centre wing. Morwood couldn't take it. Wayne Wiedemann. Now, it was out of bounds before he kicked it, so it'll be a throw-in on centre wing.
Modra with 3 goals, Liptak 1 as we look at the Adelaide bench. Sanderson there. And Wren, 2 of their youngsters. Wren really exciting, isn't he? Maybe not suited in these conditions.
Well, they've got a lot to look forward to with that play, Bruce, without doubt.
Start against North Melbourne in the closing game last year. Now, Micken and Manson. Manson's aggression will be important here for Collingwood. He can spark them. Saunders, quick kick, keeps it in to half forward. Should be a free kick to Morwood, was held on to and gets it off Wiedemann. Morwood, who, oh, look at that eye. Gee, again, with the rain, it's opened it up a bit. Now Turner swings it to Gayfer. They're squaring at Collingwood, just trying to set something up. The handball to Russell, who's been pretty quiet so far. Stops, turns around Schwert, bangs it towards full forward. Micken's got back. Good fly from the side by Maud. Oh, well played to Dacos. Surely a goal. Left foot, he'll roll it through. Touch lucky, I think, Peter, there, but a goal. And Collingwood at 2-4 to 5-5.
Yes, without doubt, it's obviously needed that goal. And Dacos off, the man that gives them that crucial one. Good contest there by Morwood. Did the right thing, punched the ball clear. And Dacos just got his foot to that cleverly enough to roll it through. He's been well held down there by Hart.
19 points the margin. The Magpies desperately needed that one. So centre bounce again. Who's going to clear it? It's vital to get that first kick out of the centre. There's Tony Francis having a few words to the umpire.
Collingwood just lacking that drive from both Russell and Francis. Francis being well held by Bickley and Russell being tagged by Lee, finding it hard to get into the game.
Well, that was Starcevic clearing it out of the centre. Then Wright goes to ground. And umpire Peter Cameron will come in and bounce again.
Also, Ross McGuan tagging Jarman and not giving them as much as he's been giving them as an attacking player.
You rob Peter to pay Paul there, Bruce, don't you?
Now Micken goes and beats Starcevic. Gayfer unable to handle it. It's one of those nights where second of the ball sometimes helps, which sounds ridiculous, I know, but a free kick there. Oh, gee, that's hard.
Oh, that was tough. I thought they should have gone Collingwood's way.
Yes, against McGuan or Schwert. He's had a number of kicks. That one a high one, going to be difficult. Modra with a fly at the back, unable this time. Ingerson in the front spot. Caught was Saunders. Fraser couldn't get clear. Here's Kelly for his first effective touch to Francis. Two former Norwood players. To Jamie Turner at centre wing. Handball was a very poor one for Fraser. Kelly in fact ran into Fraser. Turner. McGuan. Gee, Collingwood in trouble. That was symbolic of their performance tonight. Kelly's hip and shoulder good.
He nearly cleaned up young Mark Fraser. Craig Kelly
stopped him completely in his tracks, didn't he?
He's going to be very careful, Craig Kelly.
Of course, young Mark Fraser, number 47, his dad, former captain of Essendon, number 23, was a magnificent player at centre forward for many, many years. Centre wing, and the players are going in very hard, but I wouldn't get in the way of Craig Kelly at the moment, Ross.
Although, Peter, I think he gets a bit carried away with his so-called reputation as a tough, hard player. He's better off playing the footy, be better value.
Hooked down by Micken. Turner bundled off the ball. And players charging again, and umpire Gary Forster will bounce. 19 points the margin, Adelaide lead. King Crows supporter of difficult conditions, and all the umbrellas are up. Here's Starcevic thumping it back towards the centre of the ground. There's a high tackle, and it will go the way of the Magpies, and it is Gavin Brown. Gee, he puts himself in, Bruce.
Well, his courage has never been questioned. He's one of the very best players in the AFL. To Starcevic to Gafer. Again, they square it up, Collingwood, trying to set it up. Tregenza takes the mark. Handball over the top to Brown. Adelaide creating some sort of a loose man. Modra on a long lead, got a little shove and the ball never got to that far, and Richardson took the mark. So Adelaide's disposal has been a bit disappointing when going into attack. Right at half back. Still not a lot in this. Adelaide on top, but Collingwood just over 3 goals behind. Manson at the back, Wiedemann juggle not paid. Francis, torpedo punt from a standing start. Brown and McDermott, a hard ball. Dacos, still with Dacos. Well, was just held up by Lee. Well played Jarman to Lee. Will it sit for Jarman? It does. He comes through the corridor and a great kick. Wonderful footy. Modra.
That's like when you come to the football, Bruce, to watch that sort of play.
Yes, you'd rather see that than someone racing through and knocking someone over, wouldn't you?
Correct, Pete. And the Collingwood players, or the team, just lacking a bit because Manson goes to centre half forward with Starcevic into the ruck, and they just lack any drive across that half forward line. And so they rely so much on Dacos, and when he's held, they miss out on so much.
It's a long way out, 55 metres, drop punt's not going to make it into the goal square. Kelly, well played. Conceding, and in these conditions the right thing to do at 5-6 to 2-4. But Modra's been very exciting. He's kicked 3 goals, a couple of points, and he's given Adelaide something to aim at.
Yes, I like the way Modra plays full forward. He gets out in front, he leads hard at the ball, and creates a good target for his teammates up the field. Gary Pert. Ingerson will fly from the back, punched on by Kelly. Brown, well done Gavin Brown, on the right, thrown right, breaking clear, smothered off the boot. Ooh, socket off the ground towards the half forward line. Players go in hard after it. There's Bickley, back to Wiedemann. Wiedemann kicks it straight. His disposal is very poor, Wiedemann. It's gone straight to Starcevic. Starcevic in towards full forward. 2 Collingwood players here, punched down by Tasker. Here's a chance for the little rover. Tony Francis, a beautiful kick. And he has found Ronnie McEwen. Clever kick that by Francis under enormous pressure.
Yes, that it was.
Now McEwen's kicking at times can be a little bit indifferent. He's only 35 metres from goal. Very slight angle. They need it, Collingwood. Here's the kick, and a lovely kick for a goal. So the Magpies fighting back hard. 5-6 to 3-4.
Yes, not a bad move to have McEwen up in that forward line. He's shown on many occasions that he can handle the forward position quite well. And that was a terrific kick given these conditions. And Francis just roving the pack very neatly here, getting away from Bickley with that great pace of his. .14 margin. Collingwood kicking the last 2 goals in a low-scoring game.
McEwen with his first. Big punch away from the centre by Manson, taken by Lee. Lee's left foot to half forward. Ingerson didn't read it very well. Kelly's thump away was good. Brown goes to ground. Handball had a bit on it. Bickley caught by Gavin Brown. Missed by Ingerson. Saunders, oh, well played, Jarman. Oh, free kick though. Holding to Saunders. And again goes wide for right. Collingwood starting to set it up and looking dangerous. McGuan. Bang towards the forward pocket. Maynard and over the top. Dacos will kick this for his second. Collingwood with a rush now at 4-4 to 5-6.
It doesn't just show you that you're never out of this game. It can change so very quickly, and Dacos doing the right thing as a smaller play. Manson coming back very quickly. You watch this into the pack almost dangerously, but on these conditions, or in these conditions, you need someone both at the back and the front, and particularly in these conditions as the ball go over the back more often than not, and that's where Dacos was to take advantage.
Peter Dacos is the danger man. He's kicked two, but he reads that play so well, and that was just sheer ability. He read off. Oh, Micken waiting at the back then. Kick smothered, still on centre wing. This is Scott Lee. Off the ground, again the Magpies are there through Gayfer. That ball smothered as well. Scott Lee ran it right. Just took his eyes off it, then hooked it back. And the umpire called that a throw. They've gone mad on this throwing the ball, haven't they?
It was a semi-scoop, but gee whiz.
Troy Lehman to the half-forward line. Jarman waiting at the back. And they're closed with that. Was that a throw?
Yeah, no, it's a free kick to Dacos in the back. Pete Tasker, who's now picked him up. Hart's gone out to Lehman. Just got right in the back there of Dacos.
Well, is he going the torpedo punt? There's the kick in towards goal. Oh, marked right on the line by Maynard. Good thinking by Peter Dacos. Almost got it home. And the kick out there finds Bickley.
Goes short to half-back, finds Brown. To centre wing, high ball. Ingerson, Kelly, Starcevic at the back. Francis again roving it very well. Swings it across the ground, looking for Turner. It was a good kick. Gave Turner an excellent chance. The handball not perfect, but McGuan's got it. Left foot wide to McEwen. Goes to ground, Maynard. Well, well played McEwen to smother. Maynard maybe could have taken him on. Lee Matthews, the coach of Collingwood since '86, and the man who led them to that very famous premiership 2 seasons ago. 5-6-4-4. Micken and Manson. Lehman got a quick kick away. Smart, who was good early, he's had quite a second term. Tries to break through, can't get through Lehman. Oh, Brown must be a free kick. Oh, gee, not paid, should have been. Lehman round the body. McGuan, that's surely a free kick this time, yes.
Yeah, they could not play a free kick there. It's got to be a standard. As Peter Cameron, the senior umpire, that's no protection for the player whatsoever.
You must protect the man who's got the guts to go in and get the ball.
I wonder his head's still on his shoulders. McGuan short, right running down. Good defensive play though by Hart, just to hold it up. Good play with the hip and shoulder. Dacos. Free kick.
He got slung out of the contest there, Bruce.
He'll run off here. He's looking to run off to the right. There he goes.
Become very important, Dacos, hasn't he, with these 2 goals. That one across the ground and face are going for the second time in a couple of minutes. Maynard's taken the mark right on the line.
Well, Collingwood has been getting right on top. They're a much better side in this term after they were blitzed early at the start of this quarter. There's Gayfer putting pressure on. Now, was he holding? Umpire said he was. And the Adelaide crowd absolutely delighted. This is Cameron. Jamison, I should say. Rodney Jamison. McDermott. Oh, they've lost it again. Inside goes Russell to Morwood. Morwood the chip pass. And it might roll through for a goal. It has. So Shane Morwood has kicked his first. And the Magpies now only trail by 2 points.
It was a very clever kick that by Morwood. Saw the goal square was open. As you watch this again, the turnover in the centre of the ground. Just a fumble there by McDermott, unusually. Russell with one of his few touches, but here Morwood just scoots it on the ground. An open forward line, and through she went.
5-6, 5-4 Collingwood within 2 points after they trailed by 25 points at one point in this term. McDermott went up for the ruck. Francis over the top. So an excellent comeback here by Collingwood. They've kicked the last 4 goals. McDermott savage on himself for that mistake in the centre. So he's had 9 and 3, but hasn't really had an effect on the game.
Now, when you think they lost by the margin they did last week, Bruce, and he had 38 possessions, it's quieter.
Off the ground, Turner. Adelaide force it forward. Fraser, Jarman, handball wide. Good play to Schwert. Schwert goes back. Bickley round the body. Adelaide needing a goal before half-time to maintain the advantage that they held at quarter-time. Richardson, the ball running out. But for the first time in, well, many minutes, Adelaide deep in attack. They've had it to half-forward a bit. So 27 today. Celebrating by playing football before a capacity crowd. Away from his home. Ingerson. Richardson, good give to Kelly. Charges out of half-back. Centre wing. Manson smart. Tasker over the back. Brown, will he keep it in? No. Well, yes. Looked pretty close to out. And free kick going to Adelaide.
For a throw again, Bruce.
So Tasker from centre wing.
Yeah, Sean Tasker. They could do with 1 or 2 quick goals before half-time, Adelaide. Collingwood getting right on top. Tempted mark, almost a throw, that one. Now, I think I agree with that one.
No, look, it's...
You don't think so, Ross?
No, it's just so quick. McDermott is as good a handball as anyone in the competition, and it's just so quick to get that away.
That's right. Well, let's have a look at it. Quickly. Oh, I think he did throw that one. I don't think you can argue with that one, Ross. As it's on half-forward, Tony Francis gets his boot the ball and out on the ball. Just over 3 minutes of play left in this second term. A vital 3 minutes. Good quarter by the Magpies. Nigel Smart to the half-forward line. Collingwood far more disciplined approach at the moment. Liptak tries to kick it off the ground. Now Darryl Hart soccers it to the pocket. Over the line it goes. Throw in deep in that forward pocket area for Adelaide.
Leading by 2 points. Starcevic and Ingerson. Ingerson just gets rid of Starcevic. Kelly's kick doesn't go anywhere. Now Liptak made one mistake, then goes backwards to Jarman. Play on call. Jarman under pressure. Adelaide really struggling. McDermott kicks towards the goal square. Collingwood has the numbers with Pert and Kelly against Modra. There's a bit of strength and experience there. Well, Pert made a blue off the ground. Goal! Modra again for 4. And what a lucky break for the Crows at 6-6, 5-4 with Pert and Kelly unable to clear the footy.
Gee, that was clever stuff. It really was. As you said, Bruce, those two players, it's Hasley, Modra, couldn't get away. The ball comes back in field here again. Pert goes down. Liptak a tackle there. May have been a free kick, and Modra did very well.
Four goals to Anthony Modra, and again, well, this time it's a Crows player has infringed, gone into the square. Manson to the half-forward line. Tasker took his eyes off it. This is Simon Tregenza. He took his eyes off it too. Lehman over to Graham Wright. The chip passes on, and the mark has been taken by Ronnie McEwen, but poor play by 2 Adelaide Crows back here in the centre. Very ordinary effort by 2 of them.
Yes, I think it's very obvious there. We watch this once again here. Oh, goodness me, from a skillful player like Tregenza. Well, under no pressure.
They took their eyes off the ball, Ross. And here we see Ronnie McEwen kicking for his second. Slight angle. And goal umpire doesn't move. It's a goal. So McEwen has kicked 2, and the Magpies trail by 2 points.
And again, an example there of just a lack of application there. And you pay a very, very dear penalty here. Once more, just second time, we just watched Tregenza right over the top of it. Lehman, and then a very good pass there from Wright. Very clever. Could have had a ping at goal. And McEwen giving them something back, having been run around by Modra earlier on in the game.
6-6, 6-4. So Collingwood able to score from mistakes from Adelaide. Tregenza there. McDermott and Maynard a little earlier, and they've made Adelaide pay for it. Back to 2 points. Smart attacks the footy, goes to ground. Jarman was there. Schwert couldn't get through. Manson over the top. Wiedemann comes barging out. Left foot just swings it wildly and wide, but he was under pressure that time. Now Wright and Tregenza. Wright getting right on top out there. Tregenza off the ground. Scott Russell, well done. Gafer. Brown over the top. Jarman ripped off it. Tregenza. Brown, quick hands. Jarman. The handball to nobody. Richardson rides the tackle from Ingerson. The ball held up. Saunders. Brown. A little quick kick. Kelly in the front spot. Ingerson with him. McDermott swings it back. Hart caught. Just paddles it forward. Liptak unable to take it cleanly. Adelaide still with a chance. Schwert, well done. Turner to put his body in. Schwert over the top. Bickley. Jarman. Can he set something up with a clever kick? Running onto it is Jamison. Got a good bounce. Could he go all the way and kick a miraculous goal? No. Held up in the end by Gafer. And a quick kick by Richardson. And Brown's got it now at half back. Brown goes over the top as the siren sounds for half-time. And we've got a real contest. A real contest here. Adelaide leading by 2 points at Football Park before a capacity crowd at 6-6 to 6-4. Modra being the star of the first half with 4 goals to date out of the 6. And McDermott and McGuan pick up their heels as they go off the ground. Smart had a very good opening term for Adelaide. And the Crows are 2 points in front of the Maggies. It's 42 to 40.
And prior to that game getting underway, to coincide with their sponsorship of the Australian Olympic team, Toyota proudly announced a limited edition Olympic range of vehicles. To test drive one of these magnificent vehicles that you're going to see enter the arena very shortly, all you have to do is contact the nearest Metropolitan dealer first thing on Tuesday morning. So have a good look at them. The limited edition Olympic range of vehicles now making their way onto Football Park. And these vehicles will actually just do one circuit of Football Park prior to this Andrew Jack's Little League game getting underway. But the umpire apparently has got other ideas, which is to start the game at the same time. We certainly hope that the ball doesn't go anywhere near the boundary. So the Toyota car parade, 5 vehicles in total. And just have a look at them as they come around past you, these immaculate Toyotas. Certainly some great motor car there. And if you're in the business of thinking about purchasing a new vehicle, like Curran himself, I think Pro would only be too pleased to have a lot of that Land Cruiser. Had a bit of fun with it. Chicken, of course, was over in Sydney for the Toyota commercial recently, and the #1, I'm quite proudly so. So Toyota Chicken out here to just have another good look at these vehicles as they make their way around the boundary. Certainly a mean machine, there's no doubt about that, and one that undoubtedly anyone would be very pleased to own. So it's Toyota's sponsorship of the Australian Olympic team, and they're taking the opportunity to announce their limited edition Olympic range of vehicles. So you can test drive them as of Tuesday morning, and just get in there behind the wheel on one of these vehicles, see how it handles on the road, and undoubtedly, if you are contemplating purchasing a new vehicle, this one will be certainly right up your alley.
Adelaide led by 6 points at quarter time and now by 2 points at 6-6 to 6-4. But Ross, that doesn't really tell the story of that second quarter, because at one stage Adelaide led by 25 points.
Yes, it was a good comeback by Collingwood that quarter, and two players lifted. McEwen, having had his colours lowered to Modra, coming back with 2 goals, and Dacos just doing those little clever things at the back of the pack with the greasy ball. It's just made all the difference, Bruce.
Graham Corns will be disappointed because Adelaide had a big break and they were kicking to what seems to be the scoring end.
Yes, they really held sway and they controlled the ball very well all through the ground, and players like Francis and Russell for Collingwood, their prime movers, couldn't get into the game. They have now in this second quarter, and they're getting good value from their forwards. Morwood coming back onto the ground too, Bruce, has made a bit of a difference. A bit of class up there across that half-forward line. And Pert is just finding Modra a little bit of a handful at the moment. We look at the match stats there. Adelaide having their share of the ball there, and they have used it a bit better. And it's pretty even all the way through, although the hit-outs having favoured Moncourse particularly, but to no great effect there. And Micken's been far better around the ground. He reads it so well, particularly across half-back.
So that's the scene at half-time, with Adelaide leading by 2 points. Well, Collingwood's not only a very famous football club, it's a famous suburb, as Stephen Phillips is about to tell us.
Shop fronts run the length of Johnston Street, Collingwood these days, but at the turn of the century, this was one of the most notorious spots in Melbourne. Legendary power broker John Wren ran his famous tote under the nose of the law along this very stretch. Looking at Collingwood today, it's hard to imagine that this was one of the toughest suburbs in Melbourne. Hoddle Street is one of the city's major thoroughfares, packed with traffic avoiding the central business area. 60 years ago, it was lined with boot factories, taking full advantage of the tanneries along the Yarra River. Only the odd boot factory remains. The river supplied plenty of clean, fresh water. It was the ideal site for breweries, and in Collingwood there was no shortage. It was here that Foster's Lager had its birth. There was the Yorkshire Stingo, and the Abbotsford as well. Today Carlton and United still have one of their bases by the Yarra. Named after Lord Nelson's contemporary, Admiral Collingwood, the suburb was outside the jurisdiction of the City of Melbourne, and thereby escaped the stringent building regulations of the day. Timber cottages were cheap to build, and with no restrictions on size, were erected in their thousands. They would quickly become the slums of the city, and over the last few decades, many have been ripped down. The football club was born here at the Grace Darling Hotel, one of the oldest bluestone pubs in the area. Born as Britannia, it would become Collingwood in 1892 and join the VFL on its formation in 1897. Collingwood has always been one of the mainstays of the league. With 14 premierships to its credit, the Magpies are still the only club to have won 4 flags on end. Under the leadership of coaching great Jock McHale, Collingwood would be unchallenged from 1927 to 1930. The area was a breeding ground for football greatness. The old Collingwood Tech boasted old boys of the calibre of Des Fothergill, Lou and Ron Richards, Marcus Boyle, and even Test cricket great Neil Harvey. As a youngster, premiership captain of the future Lou Richards grew up here in Park Street and kicked his footy with his mates at Garnes Reserve behind the town hall. It was here at the old town hall that Richards, like so many of his teammates in the 30s, 40s and 50s, would meet his wife-to-be. The face of Collingwood has changed dramatically over the last few decades, from Smith Street in the west to Clifton Hill in the north to Victoria Parade in the south and the Yarra River along its eastern boundary. Collingwood has become a new working man's suburb, housing many Asian newcomers to Australia. Its football team has never really changed. In 1990, it won its long-awaited premiership, ending a 32-year drought. And just a week or so ago, it celebrated 100 years of football excellence. More than 80,000 packing the MCG to pay homage.
So we trust you've enjoyed this. The look at the new limited edition range of vehicles by Toyota, as those vehicles now make their way off the arena, back on the eastern side of the ground. But by all means, ladies and gentlemen, if you are contemplating purchasing a new vehicle, have a look next Tuesday morning at the nearest Toyota dealer at these limited edition Olympic range of vehicles that are being on display here for you this evening. For those that keep check on the goal scorers up to date at half-time for Collingwood, Peter Dacos and Ron McEwen with 2 each, 1 each to Troy Lunan and Shane Morwood, and for Adelaide, 4 to Tony Modger, 1 each to Rod Jamison and Matthew Lipton.
Welcome back to Football Park. Collingwood trailing by 2 points. They trailed by 1 point at the end of a very, very famous grand final in 1966 when the Saints won the match. Well, during the week, 10 of the St Kilda players got back together for the launch of a book, The Point of It All, and a video on that grand final.
To most of the class of 1966, the years have been kind. The men who shaped the history of St Kilda Football Club had gathered, once again, to talk about old times, to enjoy each other's company, and tell a few very tall tales. The launch of the club's history, The Point of It All, by historians Jules Feldman and Russell Holmesby at the MCG this week, was the chance to relive that greatest of grand final victories by the success-starved Saints. It was also the chance to launch Australian football videos tape of St Kilda's finest moments.
Alan Davis takes his kick. Oh, it's a long one too. It's going to the goal square. They face a mark. Kevin Neal has put it through.
Then, it'd been my second year, and it didn't really mean as much as it should have at that stage, but it has grown in importance in the latter years, most certainly.
It's Stewart now playing the ball along the ground, goes round on the left foot. Oh! Tottenham just about took him, and a good mark to Cooper. Oh boy, was Stewart lucky then. Will he get the distance? He's a good long way out. Oh, it's a mighty kick.
It's a beauty, I'll tell you what.
It really is the only point that the high point of the club at this stage, and like Alan Jean said this afternoon, it will remain the high point until the club gets another premiership, and that's what the whole thing's about.
Sendman from behind couldn't mark, knocked away by Howell. Howell in the centre of the ground, drives forward. It's at centre half forward, Morrow. He'll get it.
It wasn't a really first-class exhibition of our game, but the dramatics of it all and the tenseness of the players showed, because I think when the siren sounded, I think there was about 18 or 20 players just dropped to the ground. We were just physically exhausted with the pressure that was exerted upon us. We knew it was a close game, and everybody just gave it their all.
Richmond coach Alan Jeans knew great success at Hawthorn, where he took the superstar Hawks to 6 grand finals in the 80s for 3 premierships. But he will always be remembered for his part in that 1966 triumph. It was Jeans, naturally enough, who welcomed back his old charges.
Alan Morrow was recruited from Sale. He came down with Billy Stevens.
Some of the greats of St Kilda's modern team were on hand, but talk kept drifting back to that day 26 years ago, and the moment of destiny for a youngster named Richard Damien Finbar Breen, or Barry, as he's known universally.
It's taken by Breen. That's a point. It's a point. St Kilda in front.
Never in your wildest dreams do you think that you're going to kick a point in the last couple of minutes of a grand final and win the game. I mean, that way you dream about it, but never ever going to happen to you. And for it to happen, and I'm very grateful.
Seconds later, the ball would be flowing downfield, the timekeeper's finger inching towards the siren.
Tuddenham, a break. Tuddenham kicks to centre half forward. They set themselves, and a mark for Bob Murray.
I looked out to that particular the wing, and there was Alan Morrow and Darryl Baldock was there as well. And I thought, well, just flashed through my mind that if Mocker doesn't mark it, Doc will get it on the ground.
28.5 minutes gone. Hit the boundary line. 28.5 gone. There's Murray's kick to the wing position on the outer side. There's the siren. St Kilda got it. They've got it.
The ball ended up in my hands, and I thought, well, that's the best mark I'll ever take. And then I heard the siren, I just threw it up, and it was just ecstatic.
St Kilda home by a solitary point, or as the book is titled, The Point of It All. One day in football history, caught forever on the latest release from Australian Football Video, the story of a great club and its fight for success, caught superbly in one of the finest footy books to hit the stands.
Yes, what memories there for St Kilda. So the 1966 Grand Final produced by Australian Football Videos, and the book, The Point of It All, at all good bookstores. Second half coming up from Football Park after this break.
And here I come again to Adelaide, Cameron Close. For the
Well, the beloved Crows here in Adelaide, back on the ground along with Collingwood at half-time. They lead by 2 points. I wonder what's been happening down in the dungeon. Max Stevens.
In the dungeons, you're right on there, Bruce. Lee Matthews fairly pleased with the second half of that second quarter for the Collingwood Magpies, but he said they're still making fundamental mistakes, but he does appreciate the conditions tonight here at Football Park. He said in these conditions your concentration's got to be at 100%. Matthews also happy with the way Collingwood, though, on the other hand, is taking advantage of the mistakes that Adelaide made in that second quarter. Graham Corns has told the Crows to keep their eyes on the ball at all times. Don't take them off whatsoever. Pretty disappointed with their commitment in the second term, but all's not lost. Tony Modra doing well, Matthew Liptak, Chris McDermott and Andrew Jarman all showing their worth in these wet conditions. And finally, in closing, Graham Corns has told them that getting to the ball is the key to winning this game when it's wet.
Max Stevens with his report. Stephen Schwert, what have you thought of his game, Ross?
Actually, he's been very productive there. I thought he runs well. Perhaps could do a little bit better with his delivery of the football, but 15 touches to half time's a good effort.
Well, Gavin Brown, 7 and 6, but well, his worth is he gets in and gets the ball and does all the hard stuff, and he's working overtime to, well, he worked very hard to get Collingwood back in the game.
And Jarman hasn't been his normal outstanding self. He's had a tag with McGuan on him, but still getting enough of the football to be constructive in parts.
Well, Graham Wright, he hasn't been outstanding, but look at that second term. He had 7 kicks and 2 handballs, and he keeps running, and he's got a lot of talent, Graham.
And Modra, of course, his greatest contribution there has been the 4 goals, and particularly his 3 in that second quarter. Get them going.
Start of the second half. Adelaide leading by 2 points at 42-40. They go to the left, Collingwood to the right of screen. Manson with a big thump from the centre square. I wonder if it was coincidental that Collingwood lifted when he came onto the ground in that second term. Lee's kick is wide. Tregenza, who would have been disappointed with himself just before half-time, right to run him down. And 2 of the speedsters there and a throw-in.
It's interesting, starting again with Scott Lee had been picking up Scott Russell. They're both in that second half of the second quarter started either side of the boundary of the centre square. They've done that to get to start this third quarter.
Starcevic, Ingerson over the top, probably won the tap. Saunders cleverly to McGuan. McGuan on the up to Russell, who had no effect at all on the opening half. Goes bang to Dacos, should get a free, he was held onto. No free kick play on. Smart, Wiedemann squares it out wide. Bickley, Francis to try and run him down. Brown to try and provide a shepherd. Bickley from half back to centre wing. Jamison caught underneath it. A very poor attempt, I thought, and Brown took it too easily.
So did I. Brown across the ground. Oh, he has to mark this Mick McGuan because there are 2 Crows players around him. It might Liptak, McDermott, danger here. Darryl Hart on the left foot. Fires in a goal and hits the post. And a let off for the Magpies when that mark was dropped by Mick McGuan.
So you don't defend by coming across the ground, putting the ball back into play.
3 points the margin, Adelaide lead. Short kick comes out to Saunders from Gary Pert. He transfers play out wide. This is Alan Richardson. Short kick is good. Finds Tony Francis. Oh, danger kick and out on the full. Not a good kick by the little rover, so it'll be a penalty kick down there to Smart.
Half back. Runner-up in the best and fairest to Micken last season. Ingerson the front spot. Kelly at the back. Ingerson tried to rip it off his own player. Kelly with a strong tackle on Brown. And Peter Cameron will take charge. 43-40. Wet night in Adelaide. A full house, grand final atmosphere, and maybe it is for the Adelaide Crows. A loss would be disastrous to their hopes in season 92. McGuan's quick kick away. On top of it, Schwert. Off the ground right. Straight to Lee. Tregenza was running. He decides to go to centre half forward. Hart in the front spot. Goes to ground though. Recovery not good. Richardson swings it wide. Francis, Bickley to go with him. Well done, Bickley. Fairly at the back. All Hart, but able to get back. The handball was poor. Bickley being held under and a free kick against Francis that time. Well, Bickley better be careful. Now Francis better be careful. But I think Peter Cameron's done the right thing here. There was a bit of byplay there and not a lot in it. Bickley's centering kick. Kelly goes high, and that is a good, strong mark with coming in late Modra and Ingerson.
Yes, good effort by Craig Kelly. On to Richardson. Richardson to the half-back line. Jamison not having a good night. He seems to be misjudging that ball. Here he is again. He's a talented player, Jamison. Micken. Clever little tap. Francis is there on Brown. Taken out of it with Starcevic, and too high. Free kick to Craig Starcevic at half-back. A vital third term. Slight breeze favouring the end that Collingwood is kicking to. Here's Manson. Good mark. Top mark by Big James. Scott Russell. In towards full forward. No mark. Tregenza. Oh, he just took his eyes off it again. Wiedemann. Maynard. Oh, he threw that one out. Here's Shane Morwood getting onto the left foot. Danger here for Adelaide. Great play by Morwood. Oh, the mark has been dropped by Gafer. Now he's lost it in the tackle. Still a chance for Collingwood. Here's Liptak though. Shuffles it out to Schwert. Schwert on the left foot. A chip pass. Tregenza waits underneath and had to show courage at time to take the mark.
Defensive side of centre square took a long time to get it on. Ingerson was on his own. Gafer gets back. Ingerson unable to take it. Good take hard for Liptak. Loves to kick these on the run. Drop punt goes for it. Goal.
No, free kick. Yeah, pushed out.
Pert to get it.
Yes. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't fall into the shepherding role that when you push a player out so obviously like that.
Pert to McGuan. So disappointment for the Crow fans. McGuan to centre wing. Bickley went early against Brown and Smart off the ground. Well, goals aren't easy to get tonight, and they'll be disappointed there.
You'll see this free kick again here. Mottridge just pushing Pert unceremoniously out of the way into the post.
Oh,
that doesn't constitute any shepherding.
Yeah, so that was my first thought, but the replay didn't look so bad as we see McDermott to the half-forward line. Over the back is Mickey Gafer. He's got it. Collingwood off and running. Alan Richardson. The chip pass to Jamie Turner. He's got it. Danger here for Adelaide as Collingwood go forward. Good kick by Turner. Into Dacos. Good attempt, Dacos, but couldn't take it. A young player, Ben Hart, comes away with the ball. He's very, very quick and kicks it long. Gafer and Ingerson. Ingerson a diving attempt. Mick Gafer after it again. The chip pass is on and he has found his man, and it is Starcevic. Craig Starcevic to the half-forward line. No mark to Morwood.
Schwertz handball. Micken. Wiedemann. Wiedemann to centre half-forward. This is where Adelaide's been struggling since halfway through the second quarter. Liptak caught. Good tackle by Saunders over the top of him. Collingwood's defence has been brilliant in the last 20 or 30 minutes. McGuan swings it out wide, looking for Turner. He's outnumbered, but played it all right to Morwood. Gave him a chance. Schwert got a high tackle. No free kick. They're hard to get at the moment. Lee under pressure. Kicks it out of bounds on the full.
I think Adelaide are leaving it to too few. This is Saunders. They're leaving one man to battle against two or three Collingwood players at times. Bruce, as we see, Starcevic to the half-forward line at the back of Smart, but a brilliant mark from the side. Manson. James Manson, appreciating these conditions. On to Russell. In towards Ronnie McEwen. Here's Dacos around the corner. Great attempt, but he's just missed. Geez, a dangerous player, Ross.
Yeah, clever to get the ball to boot so quickly too, Pete. He knew where the goals were, as he always has done. Displayed it so often. Just missing there. Richardson's been very good from this third quarter off half-back there, creating and finding a man as we see young Sanderson warming up, preparing to come on.
Speaking of young, here's a 17-year-old Hart to McDermott, one of the veterans, the captain. Oh, look at this, right across the ground to Lee. Go for a run. Again, they're playing the boundaries, though, Adelaide. Lee to Schwert. Well, he's got a paddock here, and he should attack and centre it. Goes short. Jarman the target. Not a good kick. Gave Russell every chance. Liptak, who, as Ross said, played pretty well in the second term. Tasker. But look, Adelaide has conceded a lot of ground. Liptak goes across. Bit fancy. Too slow in the end. Telegraph. Now Jamison. Jamison short to Jarman. Jarman half volleys. Too far out to goal. Left foot. Good kick to the square. Modric, Pert. Oh, good play that time.
That's his forte, just man-to-man like that, Pert. Very good.
Yes, Modric unable to get a real spring, and here's Wright, who took Tregenza apart in that second quarter. Touched the ground once. Goes on to half-forward. Manson and Smart. Oh, Smart unable to take the mark. Manson, the pressure comes from Tasker. throw in at half forward.
Well, James Manson doing all right in this quarter, and he has to redeem himself after a very poor game against Carlton in that centenary match.
Brown's off for Sanderson.
Well, they've got to do something, Adelaide, about that half-forward line. They're falling down there. And there's a free kick against Manson on Micken. The advantage paid. Scott Lee kicks to the wide open spaces. This is Jamison getting away from Gafer. Rodney Jamison on centre wing, but no one to kick it to, so he's forced to go short. Now he's found Ingerson, who should move this as quickly as he can. That left foot kick in towards full forward. Some pushing and shoving going on, the ball over the back. Thump down, Darryl Hart races in after it. He's got it, caught, holding the ball, no. Tap back to Gafer. Further afield is Scott Russell. The Magpies again taken out of defence quite easily as Craig Kelly goes to the half-forward line. This is Ronnie McEwen racing at it. He's caught, gets it to Dacos. Brilliant skills, Dacos. Set sail for home as he kicks it in a goal and misses to the right.
2-3 to Dacos and one out of bounds on the fall. Brown looking on with Wren.
Collingwood certainly running better, Bruce, too. They're prepared to run off their lines.
They're on top, no question. They just trail by a point. Adelaide hanging on. Squirt swings it wide to McDermott. Can Adelaide set something up? It's been the pattern, hasn't it? Adelaide get to centre wing, go to half forward, no one to kick it to. Again, McDermott taking forever to get rid of it because there's no options. Kelly in the front spot. And it's all too predictable at the moment. Richardson has been mentioned. Finds Russell, who's getting kicks. He's been running off Manson a couple of times. Goes wide. Good kick to McGuan. And Collingwood again building it up.
They're missing John Klug, aren't they, at centre-half forward?
It just shows you why centre-half forward's such a hard position to play.
Now Starcevic after McGuan squared at Collingwood finding the spaces now. Starcevic goes towards goal. Dacos versus Hart. It's been a good battle between the young and the very, very good. Now, will Adelaide concede? They lead by a point. Here's Jarman, normally accurate. This needs to be. Bickley pushed in the back, free kick. Not good play, really, Francis, because Collingwood was in the box seat. It was going to be a tough ball to take.
Yeah, 2-on-1 too.
I guess Tony didn't realise that without the vision behind, but, well, a real feel for it, and he might have. Free kick to Adelaide.
Well, he's very lucky. It was a free kick, but Rodney Maynard waited for that ball.
Yes, although so often you think you're clear. Morwood had no option to run at the footy like that, so but the free kick was there.
Rodney Maynard to centre wing. Starcevic in front. Oh, a bit of shepherding going on Starcevic. Here's Jamie Turner almost through that one. Tregenza is there, and Wiedemann is shuffled out. Sanderson, Swert went without it. It goes back to Tregenza. Tregenza hooks it back to half-forward Gafer. Read it well on Jamison. Just caught as he gets his kick, and then eventually it's thumped over the line by Stephen Swert. It's anyone's game, 6-7 to 6-6, so Adelaide lead by a point.
Yeah, goals like diamonds here, aren't they? They're very, very hard to find. Whilst Collingwood seemingly are on top, Adelaide still lead by a point. Well played by Jarman and giving Liptak a chance here with a run at it. I think this is about Adelaide's best opportunity at the moment to run it forward. Well played, Fraser. Missed by Morwood, but it's pretty tough conditions. He took forever to get his handball away, but was able to. Collingwood's physical advantage is showing a bit. Wiedemann to Jamison. Hart, now here's a chance. Jarman, he's got Ingerson. Can he get to it? He should go all the way and gives it across to Lee, who bangs for goal and scores. 7-7, 6-6. Doesn't kick many goals, Lee. That was pretty important.
Yes, in fact, the touch there from Jarman, just getting himself back in the game. Takes this one-handed very casually, but gave it off. I thought he might have had a ping himself, but Lee finished that passage very well. It was tell you what, it's been a real team lift to that goal. Could make all the difference.
Adelaide by 7 points, and I think you put that goal down to the work of Matthew Liptak out in that centre wing. Gee, he worked hard again. Someone has infringed, gone into the centre square. This time it's against Adelaide, so I think that's about 2-2 in that department. Coaches must hate that. Manson in towards half forward. Smart, a fly, and he is a very talented player, Nigel Smart. He's at half back as he brings it to centre wing. Underneath it, showing courage, Graham Wright, and he takes a good, strong mark.
It's been very good after a slow start. Again, a star in 1990 and a lower season last year. Well played, Micken. Smart. Slow handball, but very effective. Lee, who's been excellent, played every one of Adelaide's 30 matches to date, along with Maynard. Not a good kick, and Gayfer running it over.
Going to play a free kick too, deliberate. Umpire forced to adjudicating that there was no attempt there by Gayfer to bring the ball back into play.
It's just these little things that can add up every now and then.
Oh, my word.
When the goal's difficult, or Jamison, big pressure. Well, big chance he took, but he got away with it to Schwert. Not much advantage. Now Schwert to try and set it up to centre half forward. Ingerson will be the fly. He's outnumbered again. Collingwood have read this very well all night, and they rebound through McGuan to Morwood. Wiedemann committed himself at the back and then went with Morwood. They both missed it. Gavin Brown's been quiet. So Scott Russell gets his kick in though.
And got dealt with. A free kick down the field.
Poor
Three
play by
Crows.
Adelaide.
Yeah, Three Crows had a real dip at Russell then just after he disposed of the footy. Now McEwen gets a shot at goal.
Well, Wiedemann was there with Sanderson and Jarman, and Russell dealt with after kicking it. Now McEwen to have a shot for goal number 3. Pretty reliable, Big Ronnie.
She's not a bad kick for goal, Bruce. He's kicked 12-10 so far this year, excluding the 2 tonight.
Well, this for goal number 3 tonight, and gives it a bit of a hook and misses. So I'm reading them well. 2-1 for McEwen, but bad miss really at 6-7 to 7-7.
Well, actually, I think he does tend to miss a lot of easy shots. But he's actually not a bad kick, what you were saying. But that's dangerous. That kick in. He's found Schwert, who's played fairly well though. So has Scott Lee. He's played a good game. Solid, dependable player. Dangerous kick. Was that out in the full? No. The mark has been taken out there by Tasker. On it goes to Tregenza. Simon Tregenza to the half-forward line. It's all Collingwood waiting underneath it. Taking the mark is Kelly. And they're falling down at half-forward, Adelaide. Kelly transfers play. This is Graham Wright, the racehorse. Puts it on the ground twice. Runs around Darryl Hart. He ran a long way there as he brings it in towards the pocket. Maynard at the back. He couldn't beat 2 of them. And James Manson playing a good quarter. Marks about 35 metres out from goal. Now, this will be interesting. No, he doesn't elect to have a kick. He puts it across to Gavin Brown.
He's been good value at centre half forward so far in this quarter, Manson.
Well, a little bit too big. They lack height, Adelaide. Maynard's not a big centre half back.
Yes, they're certainly with Smart and players. They're certainly more flankers than down the ground players.
Gavin Brown from 45 metres hooks it and puts it through for yet another behind. A goal the margin. Adelaide lead. In fact, it's 5 points.
Well, they've played very short, Adelaide, from defence, and again Hart. Micken this time. Left foot. Not a good kick, right in the front spot. And coming in late was Sanderson, and the throw in between half-back and centre wing. Sanderson coming on in this term, the 18-year-old, one of the 2 teenagers playing for Adelaide tonight. Collingwood has Watson currently on the interchange as their 18-year-old. Here's Tregenza. Well, pretty hard to handle, I guess. McDermott looks for a free kick.
Goodness me.
Jarman, Bickley, touched off the boot by Russell. Have to be play on. One hand by Sanderson. Good take though by Sanderson. Tregenza, Ingerson. Left foot, quite clever. Liptak got a lovely bounce, can go on and go all the way. Long kick. Modra versus Pert, good clash. Or Pert fell over. Modra, clever enough to kick another one. Across the body, misses behind.
Gee, it was a good effort though.
Well, it was good play, wasn't it? Gee, it's dangerous as a full back if you fall over in those conditions. It's 4-3 now for Modra, and Adelaide by a goal. It's 7-8 to 6-8.
Why coaches always stress you must keep your feet as much as possible.
Well, a great clash going on down there between Modra and Gary Pert. Modra has kicked 4. They were mostly on Ron McEwen. Tapped on towards Nigel Smart. He's a good player, Smart. And the long kick into the pocket. Here's that call. Modra, the fly, couldn't take it. His lip tack has been very impressive. Now Sanderson. Back it comes. Modra. Good play. Jamieson up in front of goal. Ingerson back with the fly. Kept his eyes on it. He's still got it, Ingerson. Around the corner, Ingerson for a magnificent goal. Anthony Ingerson has kicked the goal, but sheer full march for courage. They lead by 2 goals, Adelaide.
Yes, he got reward for effort there, just jumping back into the pack. Jamieson had someone short when he delivered this ball down with the left foot. I think it was Liptak, but he went over his head. From right of screen, in comes Ingerson. Took hard out of it, recovered beautifully. That's a great goal.
Real thriller here at Football Park, 12-point margin. Micken wins the tap. Russell out of the centre, free kick surely against Jarman to Turner. Strode him into the ground. And Turner playing his 150th. He had an injury earlier this season, has come back, forced his way back in. Been a very reliable player. Micken front spot, Manson at the back. Lehman read it very well, round the body. Hart did a good job, the teenager. Youngest player on the park, well played to McDermott, who's got a paddock in front of him. The kick will need to be accurate. Well, it was missed by Jamieson. He's had a strange old night, Jamieson. He's made some very bad mistakes. McGuan, Turner's kick was smothered. Oh, gee, hit Maud with the elbow there. Turner's kick towards full forward. Maynard and McEwen. Ronnie uses his body. Lee has to do a big circle. Will he concede a behind? Maynard, well played. Gavin Brown. Gee, if Adelaide concede a goal here, they'll be disappointed. They get it through for a behind in the end.
Gee, there's been some great smothers and persistence there. Pete, you're looking for a punch there?
Oh, he should have punched Maynard, shouldn't he?
Definitely. 8-8-6-9. Gee, I thought Morwood was a bit lucky to not give away a free kick.
Oh, he was very lucky, Shane Morwood. The kick out towards half-back. Good play by Graham Wright. Can't quite keep it in. There's Scott Hodges with the hand up to his head, who's the normal full forward or half forward flanker. Put Adelaide start. There's Tregenza. On to Jarman. Jarman to the half forward line. Liptak has really impressed me tonight, Ross.
Well, he's been the spark. He's certainly got the
crowd. Kelly's the bad boy tonight. They don't like him here in his return to South Australia.
Well, I think they might think he's Ned tonight, Peter. McGuan, he certainly played the role of the bushranger, hasn't he? Jarman, McDermott. Oh, that was a throw. I saw that one. I think we all did. Francis. Oh, gee, down the ground. No, play on. Wiedemann, Manson. Oh, just this game getting out of control slightly. Oh.
That should be 50.
Be careful, James.
That really should have been 50.
Wiedemann, Ingerson and Kelly. Kelly puts himself in the right position. McGuan with a high one. At the back was Micken. Francis, well played. Keeps his feet brilliantly with balance. Left foot or Wiedemann, be careful, don't go on with it there. And Tasker throwing in the pocket.
Gee, read that well, Tony Francis, didn't he? And Brown's about to come on.
Yeah, Jamieson coming off, Pete.
Yes, he doesn't look fit, Jamieson. A few times hasn't been able to get the marks.
As you said that before, one of those nights where it's just not going for him.
Smart missed it. Lee, clever. McDermott's had some touches in this term. Oh, that's a very poor kick. Brown has just come on. Sanderson and Saunders. Sanderson, well played. Kick towards centre wing. Kelly. Well, I'm reading it incorrectly that time. Liptak. Here's Fraser in his first game. What a debut. You remember this one. Well played, young fellow. The 21-year-old goes into the centre to McGuan, who's also picked up quite a few touches in this term. Squares it to Russell. This is his advantage, to be able to run and create a loose man. Over the top to Starcevic. Collingwood needing a goal. And Starcevic goes for it with a long shot. It's offline for a behind. Collingwood has been inaccurate in this term. They've kicked 6 straight points, Collingwood, and Adelaide have kicked 2-2, 56-46.
Yes, that could be costly in the long run too. Nigel Smart at half-back. Receiving from Ben Hart. Now Hart, oh, he's got plenty of presence about him, Hart. A bit of class. Or Maynard just doing the wrestling. Starcevic has lost it. This is Sanderson. He goes with a hand pass to McDermott. McDermott chips it across to Jarman, who waits underneath it, and he marks. Danger here for Collingwood as the Crows go forward. Jarman cleverly swings onto the left foot, brings it in towards the half-forward line. It's all Collingwood, and Kelly marks. Kelly races away. It wasn't a good kick by Jarman, actually.
Well, he messed up, Pete, because he went right initially,
That's
and
right.
that's where Modra left, and so did the other fours. He's come back the other side, and there was no one there to kick to.
Collingwood with numbers. Graham Wright brings it in towards the half-forward line. Comes off the knee of Peter Dacos, still in play. In fact, did I say Dacos? It's Manson. Fancy confusing Manson with Dacos.
I think Manson would be happy with that.
Sure he would. There's Graham Corns. Very worried expression on his face. Just over 4 minutes of play left in this third term.
And vital 4 minutes to a goal either way would make a big difference to this match. It's delicately poised. Francis to Brown. Brown towards Dacos. But well played Dacos to get rid of Hart off the ground, rolling from behind. For Dacos with 2-4 and Collingwood edging. There's 6-11 to 8-8. We saw something a little similar yesterday when Carlton kicked 2-8 in the third quarter against West Coast.
Yeah, they often say bad kicking is bad footy.
Wiedemann provides the lead and makes it in the end. You know, Micken is short for him if he wants him. It takes a while to decide, then goes to Micken. And Adelaide has played this pretty well tonight. They've been able to create loose men over the top to Lee. Lee from defensive side of the centre square. Not a very good kick, and Kelly off full marks.
Great mark, wasn't it?
Been in front of Ingerson. He's put himself in the front spot.
Ingerson tends to like to jump from behind.
Gee, poor play Ingerson too on Brown there. Kelly again. To centre half forward, Manson getting back with Smart and Micken. Well played, Smart off, played Manson though. And again Smart, who's having one of his very good games as he goes to Ingerson.
Kelly at the back this time. Ingerson at the front. A sandwich on Mick Gafer. He's got backup support though as Brown gets it to McGuan. Mick McGuan forced onto the left foot by Jarman. Out it goes towards centre wing, off the hands of Scott Russell and over the line. A good, tight, hard contest, Ross.
It's coming up very well.
Just under 3 minutes before three-quarter time. 8-8 the Crows, 6-11 the Magpies. Troy Lehman on the left foot to the half-forward line. Oh, if Smart went without it, could be dangerous. Tapped on by Morwood. Scott Lee shuffles it back. Nigel Smart still there. Chris McDermott to the half-back line. This is Jamie Turner. A bad kick. Still a chance for the Magpies. McDermott in on it. He's got to try and hook it out. Morwood loses it. Hart was there. Now it's tapped onto Smart. A lot of mistakes made there with the greasy ball. And Nigel Smart kicks it wide. Diving attempt by Saunders, but it's over the line.
Saunders, the 26-year-old, who's trying desperately to submit a place at Collingwood. 48,000 people, we believe, tonight, a sellout. And they're getting their money's worth. Collingwood with good support too. They've had, the most support of any of the interstate clubs that have come here. Brown's kick to centre half forward. Dacos reads it well. High ball. McEwen in the front spot. Now getting around Maynard. Well played, Big Ronnie. Here's a chance. McEwen to run in and goal.
He's missed. Hit the post on him, Bruce.
Yes. Well, Collingwood, you wouldn't read about it. They've kicked 8 points in this quarter.
Well, how costly will this be?
There's 6 goals, 12 to 8-8. And Smart to bring it back into Micken. Now Wright will go with him. Oh, good mark, Micken. And you've got to say Adelaide have played this style pretty well. Now Micken trying to draw right. Now he'll draw Manson behind him. And then hugs the boundary line. Centre wing, lip tack in the front spot. Well done, Fraser. Jarman. Free kick going against Sanderson to Saunders for hanging on.
The Magpies have just over a minute to get it down to their forward line. A goal before three-quarter time would be very handy indeed. There's the kick. Dacos pushing and shoving with his opponent hard. Here's Lehman. Breaks the tackle, Troy Lehman. Hooks it in a goal and hooks it again, and they've missed. How vital is this? Under the minute. And there's Shane Morwood and Damien Monkhorst, who was banished to the bench very early in the piece to allow Manson to come on. I think it was a pretty good move by Lee Matthews.
Well, Collingwood trailed by 25 points early in that second term. Now Hart, he kicked over the line. He has. Don't see that very often these days.
No, you don't. In fact, but the other thing, more importantly, Bruce, sometimes the umpires don't necessarily pick it up as often as it does happen.
So the ball coming back for a ball up now. There's 40 seconds remaining. And won't Adelaide be disappointed if Collingwood can make a goal out of this? Lee concedes a behind. And 6-14 to 8-8. I think Scott Lee would have been pretty happy that Troy Lehman missed a moment ago too. Chance to take the mark and unable to do it. 56 to 50.
He realised in the end that he was the player that had to go, and he realised a bit late he didn't quite make the effort he should have.
Well, Dacos was coming, and it wasn't Manson.
27 seconds before three-quarter time, and the kick out there taken by Hart. He's going to be a good player, Ross.
But he's only made a couple of very, very minor mistakes, Pete, for a player of his age, playing on someone like a Dacos. Geez, he's got a lot to come to, hasn't he? He and Wren and those sorts of players are the future of footy.
Tasker at half-back. The time clock ticking down, so there probably won't be another score. Or will there be? Gavin Brown brings it in towards the pocket. There's the siren to end the quarter. No mark to James Manson. He's not happy about it. And he is dirty, but there was definitely after the siren at three-quarter times having plenty to say, but you're wrong, James. Adelaide, 8-8, 56. Lead the Magpies, 6-14, 50.
Welcome back to Football Park. They say every picture tells a story. Well, the stats do there, don't they? 10 shots to 4. Collingwood kicking 10 points in that quarter and trail by a goal at 8-8 to 6-14. Football specials coming up on 7. State of Origin, Victoria, Western Australia at the MCG. Remember how brilliant WA was last year. That's Tuesday, May 26. Just check your local guides for the telecast details. And then another code, but very exciting, the first test, Australia versus Great Britain in Rugby League on 7, June 12 from the Sydney Football Stadium. And again, just check your guides for when that match will be telecast. Well, Max, it's pretty tense and tight up here. It must be just the same on the boundary.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bruce, the supporters here, the Adelaide supporters, not too pleased with the umpiring tonight. They keep asking me what the umpires have been saying during the breaks rather than the coaches. Graham Corns asking for a lift, as one would expect, right across the half-forward line, and he wants the Crows to man up. He told them that there are far too many black and white jumpers not being checked. Conditions far better. The rain has stopped. Corns telling the players to keep the work rate up and create opportunities. He wants them to run it right out for that last 30 minutes, because a lot of the journalists here in Adelaide have been critical that Adelaide doesn't know how to finish off. Lee Matthews wants a committed effort by the Magpies. He believes they had more of the play and controlled that term, but didn't capitalise with goals on the scoreboard. In closing, he's told them to stop using the flanks and the wings and go straight down the middle of the ground.
As you can see, Graham Corns has brought Brown off the ground and he's put Sean Wren down to the full forward line. Gate picking him up. Stats there, you'll see that Adelaide has something like 43 more touches overall, not taking advantage of it, mainly in the handball department there. Everything else pretty even. Centre breaks particularly just 8 to 9.
Well, it's no exaggeration to describe the importance of this final 30 minutes for both these clubs.
And it's important, I think, having Wren down in that full forward line gives them something to kick to outside of Modra, who's been well held after half-time by Pert. And if Micken needs a rest, Wren can surely go into the ball.
So the ball's held aloft. Start of the final term. You'd imagine a couple of goals either way will decide this game, because it's been very, very low scoring throughout. The ball's been difficult to handle. Here's Sanderson with a very good handball out of the centre to Tregenza to Ingerson. Ball free kick. A free kick against Kelly. Ingerson outside his distance. Now he's got Wren in the goal square and Modra. So he's got a couple of targets. Ingerson with a real floater and not a good kick at all, giving Modra a little chance, and Pert takes it. Swings it wide and short. Finds Gaffer. Gaffer from half-back looking for an option. Touches it on the ground. Collingwood trailing by a point. Continues to run. Then sweeps a handball out wide. The kick on by McGuan. A high one to centre wing. Now Lee and Lehman, and running it out of play. So throw in centre wing.
Absolutely anyone's game, this tight, hard contest, slippery conditions. Collingwood 10 points in the third quarter and not a goal, against 2-2 by the Crows. Here's McDermott. Now Wiedemann, do they love him here? Wayne Wiedemann right down towards the forward pocket area. Gary Pert leads in the race. Chance now though for Modra off the ground, but the mark has been taken by Mick Gaffer.
Pete, with his rain abating, will certainly help the players with the ball not being quite as greasy as it was earlier on.
The kick by Gaffer is a dangerous kick.
Got to be high.
And the umpire has found the free kick. It will go the way of the Magpies. It's at half-back. And it looks like Graham Wright way out there. It is. Wright has gone short. Strong overhead mark. Gavin Brown, one of the best in the game. Strong hands. Gavin Brown to centre wing. Smart will come from the back. And off the packet goes, over the line. So it'll be again a throw-in at centre wing, and cold, wet conditions. But they're still out there, keen as ever, those Adelaide supporters.
Keeping warm with the crowds around them tonight, Pete. Not a spare seat here. 48,000. McDermott, two half forward. Ingerson in a wrestling match as he's been with Kelly. Collingwood's defence has been excellent. The handball on the up was good as Richardson goes from half back with a short one to Starcevic. Starcevic will swing it wide to Russell, who can run on here and take the chance and go for it with his pace, and he does. He runs a long, long way, goes for goal, good kick, and Watson with a chance. Is it a free kick? No. Wiedemann from full back. Long kick out wide. Here's Lee. Gee, Russell's got to be fit, doesn't he, with the effort he put in a moment ago, but he's given it away in the end.
Yep.
I think exhaustion beat him, don't you?
Oh, without doubt. And Lee and he have played a part, having started on each other, or Lee particularly picking up Russell in that first quarter. They've played almost like spare men in defence for their respective sides. Been a good duel.
Scott Lee to centre wing. Ingerson was there. Now Bickley. Gavin Brown hooks it back. The players wait underneath. Here's Manson. Caught. Loses it in the tackle. Some good strong tackling. Manson again. Scott Russell. A quick kick to the half-forward line. McEwen, well done. A chance to McGuan. Over the top, a chip pass. Young Watson. Shane Watson, a goal. Watson kicks his first and scores a level.
Yes, and Mick McGuan there just showing his ability with the footy and then getting away from Jarman. It's been a good job between those two players as well. McGuan just so vital with his run and his creativity, and McEwen making sure he's in front. Did well.
All square at Football Park. Watson's first goal for Collingwood, 7-14 to 8-8. Their first since half-time. Well, Jarman with a quick kick there. Taken by Wright, who's been magnificent. The handball, there's a fight on in the centre with Francis involved.
And Bickley.
And Bickley. Here's Liptak to Sanderson, running into the umpire. Going very wide. Modra sits and waits. And gee, indirect Adelaide. And this fight's still going on with Bickley and Francis. Now they part, but Adelaide not attacking down the middle there and stretching it as wide to the boundary line. Wren in the front spot. Again, the umpire almost getting involved. Quick kick by Gafer. Collingwood can hit the front in the next couple of minutes. Will give them an enormous lift. Oh, gee, Manson. Oh, that was indiscriminate. The no free kick. Across by Micken, the marker. Good one to Jarman. He's got Liptak and goes to him and gets him. Oh, drops the mark. Hart slips over. Goes back. Lee caught. Well played Collingwood. They hold it up. Schwert. Adelaide's had some chances. Goes back to Hart. Too far out to score. High one. Sitting underneath it is Sanderson. Well played by Collingwood's defence. Hart looks for a free kick. Not coming. They're hard to get at the moment. Sanderson again. It's frantic. Oh, strength there by Richardson. Now Tasker to Tregenza. Tries to break it. And Collingwood are going to get away here with Turner under pressure, but goes to Lehman. And after the Liptak mistake, Collingwood has been able to get away with a good team effort through McGuan finally.
McGuan, the long kick to the half-forward line, and it rolls over the line. But Adelaide did make a lot of mistakes down there across half-forward. Well, let's have a look at that Manson one in replay again. He doesn't look at the ball, runs at the man, and no free kick. Unbelievable, isn't it? Well, there's McDermott. And it was right in front of the umpire, that one too. It's at half forward for the Magpies. Anyone's game. Manson will do battle against Micken. Scores a level, 56 apiece. Micken to Smart. Smart gets his left boot to it, but it's all Collingwood out there on centre wing. This is Craig Starcevich around the corner to the half forward line. Manson sets it to, Wiedemann misjudged it, but a free kick to Manson for shepherding. Advantage paid to Russell. Scott Russell races in the goal from 20 metres, chips it in, and Scott Russell has goal. The Magpies have hit the front. They lead by 6 points.
That's probably been his most critical possession tonight, that goal to Russell. Watch this again. There's a shepherding. Smart going back into Manson, trying to allow Wiedemann to take the mark. And that's where this advantage rule does take its toll. Micken's calling for Wren to come down to onto the ball. Micken's showing some tiredness now.
The Maggies have hit the front here. 8-14 to 8-8. They're coming home with a rush. Micken's called for Wren's assistance in the centre. Sanderson, Adelaide need the next one. Micken just taps it forward. Collingwood very, very desperate now. Turn around his body. Wiedemann. Still with Wiedemann. Now Smart around Dacos. Or not a good kick. Adelaide just slightly off the boil at the moment. Saunders has kicked to Dacos. Well played over the top though. And Smart's been good, hasn't he?
Yes, he has been very good. That position at centre half back has suited him nicely tonight.
Wren on the ball. Manson to come in with him. Wren taps it down to McDermott to Smart. Adelaide from centre wing towards half forward. This is where they've been breaking down. Ingerson playing a defensive role that time, but Saunders to Fraser. Collingwood rebound. Oh, good kick to Brown. He'll take it. And he's got some options wide. Turner was one of them. So's Lehman. He should run away from Wren. Wren did very well. An opportunity for Watson. Manson, McEwen to kick a goal round his body. 3 for Big Ronnie. And suddenly Collingwood has opened up a 12-point lead.
And a very ordinary effort there from Sean Tusker in the middle of the ground. Could have marked that ball, never went near it, just stood still and spectated. Good chase from Wren, just putting Lehman, I think it was, off the footy. And McEwen scooping up and crumbing very nicely. Jamison back on.
Sanderson off.
12 points the margin, the Magpies coming home with a wet sail as the quick kick comes down towards half-forward. Gary Pert and Wren with that. They need a quick goal. Here's a chance. Liptak, he should have handballed it. Still a chance. Mockler a goal. They're back in at the Crows. Tony Modra has kicked 5, and again the margin is 6 points.
Yes, and the Porter's going to Sean Wren in the centre there. His tap out of the centre to Bickley was terrific, and it was Bickley's torpedo that got them forward and set sail there. Pert just overrunning the footy, and a bit fortuitous with the smother just falling at Modra's feet, but he did well.
Five goals to Modra. Adelaide within 6 points. Wren and Manson. Wren again wins it. He's important. Jarman. Good smother though at half forward. Kelly with the opportunity. Liptak to try and run him down. Good play by Liptak. Centering kick. Well, chance here. Fumble, but finally, and the man who can kick a goal from a long way out takes it.
Liptak again being the spark, and Wren once more, as you said, Bruce, just getting the footy out of the centre. Jarman skillfully controlling it.
Well, he's even money from here, this fellow. He's the best kick in the team. He's a long way out. Ball shouldn't be over heavy. He's had an ordinary night. His confidence will be down, and he's kicked it like a man out of touch.
And Manson coming off now. Monkhorst back on after those 2 clear wins by Wren in the centre, and as he came off, he had a fair bit to say to the Collingwood runner.
He's pretty fired up, isn't he, James? He was disappointed at three-quarter time, and he was probably very lucky just after three-quarter time. Micken wins a tap. Quick kick by Jamison. Kelly, well, did it go 10? No. Kelly's kicked a half back.
McDermott and Monkhorst. Monkhorst a good mark. And through the arm back, is he going to reverse it? No, I don't think so. I think the Adelaide crowd thought...
Yeah, no, he's just moving McDermott back on the mark.
And the Adelaide crowd misjudging Peter Cameron then. Swert in front. Still going Swert. Number 40 trying to shuffle it out. Here's Dacos. Cleverly taps at the ground. Back it comes to Francis. The tackle on Brown. Jamison. Monkhorst gets in that hole at halfback. Monkhorst a wobbly kick at Wren. I'm amazed they didn't start with Wren at the beginning of this quarter in the ruck. Here's Wiedemann swinging onto the left foot. In towards half forward. Players back with the flight. A chance around the corner by Modra. Up in front of goal. Liptak, danger here. Matthew Liptak's got it. Brought to ground. Tries to tap it on. Players racing after Darryl Hart's there. Gary Pert's there. Players pouncing on top of it. And it'll be a bounce.
Gee, it's exciting, isn't it?
That's good stuff.
It really is exciting. Manson looking on. A goal the difference. 62 to 68. Couldn't have set it up better. Ingerson wins a tap. McDermott crashes through, gets a high one. Monkhorst's kick. Richardson's been excellent. Jamison tries to rip it off him. Free kick, Collingwood in the back. Over the top. Mickey McGuan, one of their favourite sons. His eyes match Wiedemann's, I reckon. They're fierce, aren't they? McGuan goes wide. Lee's there with Russell, and I think you want to play man-to-man with him now, Ross, because Russell's been important, hasn't he?
Yep, you've got to do it that way now.
Well, edge of your seat stuff, this. 9-8, 9-14.
Halfway between centre wing and half forward for Adelaide. Wren versus Monkhorst. No decisive tap out. Now Wren gets it on towards Jamison. Tregenza went without it again. He's done that a few times tonight. Out it comes to Swert. That was a good play. Swert in towards full forward. Modra, a diving attempt, couldn't take it. This is Mark Fraser breaking away with pace. Fraser the centre wing. There's a lot of Crows players around that ball, and the mark taken by Lee. Strong work there, body work. Scott Lee is on centre wing. He should be kicking it as far as he can. He's had 21 kicks and 6 handballs. Not a bad game, and a beautiful kick to the half-forward line. Moncourse, it's thumped the ground. Players go without the ball again. This is Tony Francis, who we headed straight out there in the mark. A diving mark has been taken by Gavin Brown.
Manson back on for Collingwood, so he was only off for a moment, and Watson off, who kicked one of the early goals for Collingwood in the term. Starcevic with a fly. Wren was in the front spot. And Adelaide force it over the line, but trailing by one straight kick. There's Morwood and Watson. Morwood with his left eye. Looks like he's been 12 rounds with Jeff Fennick, doesn't he? 62-68. Wren and Moncourse. Wiedemann caught, couldn't get his kick away. Well played, Brown and also Russell. Wren over the top, paddles it out, but a ball up. So goals came freely for Collingwood at the start of the term, but we're back to the situation we've had most of the night where they've been difficult to get.
Yeah, nip and tuck.
A real battle between half-back lines, isn't it?
Right on centre wing. Oh, Wren hits it straight to Brown. Gavin Brown around the corner. Tasker back with the fly. It's thumped on towards McGuan. And Mickey McGuan could not control it, but it's further round towards the Collingwood half-forward line. Plenty of time left, just over 12 minutes. The Magpies lead by 6 points. It's been nip and tuck all night. Moncourse tries to get it down towards Brown. Lee. Francis read it well, the little rover. He's at half forward. The chip passes on. Manson couldn't control it. There's Lehman. Danger here for Adelaide. Smart waits at the back. Ron McEwen at the front. Lehman's there also, and the umpire will come in and bounce.
Right in front of the Collingwood cheer squad. And look at them, they're in big numbers here tonight. They've really made a noise. Outnumbered, obviously, but they've made a presence felt, and I think it's helping their team. It'll be a daunting place here at times. Going to ground Maynard. Wiedemann on his wrong side, kicks to a vacant space and just hopes that a Crow jumper can get there. Starcevic leads. Sweeping handball to Saunders. Jamison took his eye off it and gave away a free kick.
He's not used to playing a defensive role.
McGuan says just calm down, Darren, and go long. So I reckon Mickey might stay on for an extra day. It's Adelaide Cup Day tomorrow.
Fair chance.
I'd say odds on.
There's the free kick with Jamison giving it up. Well, Moncourse short. He's going to go there. Loose checking. Oh, again, Tasker.
That should never happen. Particularly such a critical time of the game. It shouldn't happen in the first place, but when it's nip and tuck like this, you've just got to be one-on-one.
Well, Wren's in the goal square.
Wren's right down there. Someone else should have come forward, picked him up.
Well, it won't be easy for Damien Moncourse. It'll take a good kick. He's kicked 8 goals in 70 matches at Collingwood, so he hasn't been prolific. And that one goes to the far side. Manson almost, and through for a behind, but it could be important when you add it up because it's a 7-point margin. That's 2 kicks. 9-15, 9-8. And Ben Hart, the 17-year-old, to bring it back in for Adelaide.
Now there are 2 players making a lead. One of them is Wren. Tasker. Oh, geez, talented Wren. What a good mark with a wet ball. On to Scott Lee. One of the best men on the ground as he kicks towards half forward. Micken back with the fly. Good play by Micken. Looking for Darryl Hart. He's got him. Darryl Hart on the left foot. In towards full forward. Pert at the back. Also Modra. It's a loose ball with Liptak. He went without it. Players appealing for a free kick. Liptak is down. Kicked away by Saunders. Taken by Graham Wright. Graham Wright towards the centre wing area, and the mark has been taken by Turner.
That was made a difference too, Pete, with Micken coming to centre half forward and Ingerson going into the pocket. They've got a bit more maturity to kick to at centre half forward.
Turner with his 19 touches tonight. Goes to half forward. Manson, big fly. Smart. Free kick Manson. Just over the shoulder by Smart. Quick handball. Dacos. Centering kick. Well played. Hart went without it in the end. Lee to Hart. Geez, impressive Hart. He and Wren. Jarman, Hart again. Adelaide just trailed by 7 points. Good lead, Ingerson, and a good kick, and he takes it. Brilliant play by young Hart.
He's going to run on again. And good stuff.
And Ingerson couldn't use him, but goes for the goal square. Not a bad kick. And it's a behind Modra and Pert, and just back to a goal. Would have you gone for Hart, Peter, or Ross?
Well, he made the run, didn't he? Run past him. He could have chipped it over.
He could have, but just it's so important, those young, youthful legs at this time of a game make all the difference.
Well, you mentioned about the handy point up the other end. That's a handy point now because it's only a goal of difference, and it's still on the Crows' forward line. 8.5 minutes, just over. Gary Pert, he'd be pretty cool in a crisis. So he's going to kick it to the outer side of the ground. Now there's 2 on 1 here, 2 Collingwood and 1 Crow, and the 2 Collingwood 1 out because Mick McGuan benefited by the fact that the contest was put on there by Craig Kelly, and Lee Matthews never seems to show much emotion, but his heart will be churning a bit, I'd imagine.
Not many coaches do they?
Just get a little bit older in each game, don't they? Must age. Wren and Starcevic. Brown. Now Bickley, left foot round his body. Lip tack, unable to take it. Fraser's done pretty well on him in this turn. Kelly and Mickett over the top. Fraser straight to the boundary line, and Richardson there. And again a throw in on centre wing. Well, 8 minutes remaining. Adelaide trail by a goal. There are 44,723 here tonight. We just checked to see if that's the biggest crowd Adelaide's had. I think West Coast last year was very similar to that on that Sunday afternoon. Well, McDermott throwing it. He did too. It's a poor effort by the captain there. Just slipped out of his hand.
Ball slipped out, just that greasiness, Bruce, yep.
And Brown bangs it with a very good kick to right in the centre square. So Collingwood trying to set up the goal that could break Adelaide's back here. Wright goes towards full forward. Manson's there. Wren gets back. Hart off the ground by Turner. Turner falls over. Now Schwert. McEwen. And running it out. And you just feel that, Ross, if Collingwood get the next one, in the context of the game, it'll be enough.
Even if it's a point. Just takes the edge off the other side.
Collingwood's forward pocket, about 30 metres around from the behind post. Wren, the big thump, gains about 30 metres. And that's good play. I think really believe they should have started with him at the beginning of this quarter. Wren, a fresh man in the ruck. Wren versus Manson again. Manson comes from in front. No one got a decisive hit out. That's Jamieson, centre wing. Here's Kelly. Graham Wright's been great. In towards McEwen. Oh, almost a good mark taken down there. Maynard loses it, then was grabbed. No free kick. Scott Lee. Tasker. Chip pass. Tregenza. Oh, they've got the loose man there in Jarman. He can go inside the Wiedemann here. He should hook it back on the left foot. He does. Now Liptak is loose. Oh, Wiedemann goes for a hand pass. Maynard very slow to get rid of it. Flattened after he got rid of it.
So it's crude.
Unbelievable. No free kick, but the mark was taken by Jamieson. Jamieson to Modra. Oh, boy, this game's not over yet. Modra's kicked 5. He's got away from Gary Pert on the lead.
Yes, it's a very ordinary hip and shoulder from Craig Kelly. Very late, but Modra a big chance.
6 points the margin. Modra will kick from 30 metres. 45-degree angle, a vital kick by this talented full forward. Oh, he laid back on that one. It looked pretty good, though. Scores a level. No, he has missed. It's only a point. So Collingwood breathe again because it's only 5 points so much. I will certainly put up 2 hands.
I think you were fooled by the crowd, Pete.
Well, they went berserk, didn't they? Oh. I think it was Barry Breen all over again in 66 with a point. Pert wide. Monkhorst, his target goes. Wren with him. Chance for Liptak to Tregenza. Micken, Tregenza should go. Oh, not good. Not good at all. Pert well played. It was touched off the boot. Pert goes wide. Kelly to Wright. Well, Adelaide had a superb opportunity there. Wright centering kick on. Basasevic well played, not paid. Now Lehman. Smart, who's been excellent all night, and again held up. But gee, Tregenza was a wonderful opportunity.
They set
from
it up
30
well
metres.
for him, Bruce. Yeah, I agree. Micken, just knowing that he was running on again, just gave it back, and then Tregenza almost didn't even seem to realise a player was running at him, and that player touched the ball off the boot.
Well, less than 5 minutes to go in what's been a terrific contest all night. McDermott to Bickley. Bickley's left foot poor under pressure, and that's not good. Free kick Collingwood, and it'll go to Dacos after Richardson relays it. So the Maggies are 5 points in front.
Collingwood at half-back with Peter Dacos. 17 kicks and 1 handball. And the Magpie champ, a wobbly kick towards the half-forward line. It's no mark. Wren. Scott Lee has been excellent. Lee to the half-forward line. Some wrestling going on. Is that a mark? No, it's not. Darryl Hart tries to get in a hand pass. Jamison is there, has had a quiet night. Taken away by Saunders. Darren Saunders found a man out wide. It's Gavin Brown. Brown right out on centre wing. 4 minutes of play left in this match. 5 points the margin. They've had their chances, Adelaide, but Collingwood hanging on. Been a great player tonight. Gavin Brown again to the half-forward line. Oh, push out on Manson. Should have been a free kick. Schwert to centre wing. No mark, or was it? Bickley gets it to McDermott. To the half-forward line. No mark to Jamison. Hart and Monkhorst. Monkhorst went without. Off the ground, Tregenza. Micken underneath it. Thumped away. Who's going to end up with this ball? It's Bickley and Jarman. Jarman can't pick it up. Oh, pressure on all players here at halfback. Young Fraser kicks it to the wide open spaces, and it beats Gavin Brown over the line.
Well, he's been pretty good, Fraser, in this last quarter. It's unbelievably tense, isn't it? Just
it's good, terrific stuff. It really is.
Like walking a tightrope at the moment, with both sides trying to get to the other side. Jarman, McDermott, well played, finds some space. Left foot towards full forward. Kelly should take it, and he does. Good strong play by Kelly to Pert. Pert bangs it back to centre wing. Jarman's got a stretch, couldn't mark. Did a good job. Handballed legally that time, but Francis able to take it. A quick kick towards a vacant paddock. Smart and Starcevic, and Collingwood have got it just where they want it, with less than 2 3/4 minutes remaining. In fact, we're down to 2.5, and Collingwood lead by 5 points.
Half-forward line for the Magpies. A goal here would really knock Adelaide for 6, I would think. There's Maynard, went without it. Jarman's there. Manson. Francis, cleverly looking for McGuan. Can he pick it up? Mick McGuan around the corner on the left foot. Some pushing going on. The dangerous Dacos is over the back. Still Peter Dacos. Taps it back into play. Taken away by Nigel Smart, who's been a very, very good player. Here's Jamie Turner. Hand pass. He's looking for Starcevic. Starcevic inside. Lehman trying to get round on the left foot. Hooks it back in front of goal. Oh, the mark is dropped by Wren. Could be costly. Maynard is there. Oh, that could be holding the ball. No attempt to get it out, but it'll be a bounce.
Well, odds with Collingwood now. They've got it in the goal square. Within, well, not quite the square, but within 20 metres. And Maynard just throwing himself on top of it there.
Yeah, it's going to take a big effort to get the ball down the other end of the ground to score by the Crows.
Would have been a brave one, Peter McKenna, wouldn't it?
Well, if it's there.
Turner out of play. So Adelaide need a clean fist from Wren, and they've got to take it with some purpose from the back pocket. The odds are stacked against them here. They kicked 9 goals in about 2 hours. Can they kick 1 more in a minute? Wren couldn't do it that time. Well played, Manson. Wiedemann. Still Wiedemann. Somebody's got to do something heroic. Smart, not a good handball. Bickley, they've made a bit of a mess of this. Jamison, gee, Smart's handball was a poor option. Starcevic, a big ball to be won here. Well played, Turner to hold it up. Some courage shown though by Adelaide. Fisted back by Lehman. Wren, inside 40 seconds. Bickley underneath it. No free kick against Francis. And surely Collingwood are in now at 30 seconds to go.
It was a great desperate effort there by Schwert. He really put himself in.
The clock ticks down. Collingwood are 5 points in front. Wren goes backwards. Bickley can't get it out. McDermott goes to ground. Again, no free kick. And now with 10 seconds remaining, surely Collingwood to hang on. Jamison off the ground. Last-ditch effort for Adelaide as the clock ticks down. Well played, though, by Fraser to hold it up. And Adelaide run out of time. Collingwood has won. And their fans are celebrating. Gee, it was a slog, a real hard go. And Collingwood by 5 points at Footy Park. Scott Lee played his heart out and looks pretty sore and sorry. Peter Dacos, who had a lot of touches, 2 goals and quite a few misses for him tonight. And Gayfer and Richardson and Monkhorst together. But Peter, the Collingwood fans, they're always vocal, and they made the long trip tonight and they've seen their beloved win by 5 points.
Yes, they fought it right out. They had some terrific players, Gavin Brown and Graham Wright, young Fraser, Alan Richardson. They battled their hearts out. Full marks to Adelaide too. They did not throw in the towel. They just didn't have enough class forwards besides Modra up there to capitalise. They were thrashed across half forward. And so we'll go down to Max Stevens is down on the boundary line there with Gavin Brown.
Thanks very much, Peter. Well, Gavin, a great team effort by the Pies tonight.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was just a real gutsy effort in that last quarter when, it was pretty tight. Yeah, fantastic effort.
How hard do you feel it's your second time over here to come and play at Football Park?
Yeah, it's certainly very hard. They've got the home ground advantage and the crowd's on their side. It's very hard, but yeah, we're very pleased with the win.
We'd be pretty happy with your supporters. I think you had about 3,500 here.
Yeah, no, they always turn up. They're fantastic.
And the supporters at home?
Yeah, they're always fantastic.
OK, mate, thanks and well done tonight.
Gavin Brown with Max Stevens, Chris McDermott. Well, he'll be bitterly disappointed because in many ways Adelaide's chances of making the 6 have gone tonight. They might prove us wrong, but they've got West Coast coming up on Friday night, and it's an awfully big job. And, well, they're not happy in Adelaide. Off go the lights, just because they got beaten. Well, 9:15 to 9:10. We're in the dark. We hope you're not at home. Let's take a break. Well, it was exciting, it was a thriller. Collingwood by 5 points at Football Park, 9-15-69 over Adelaide, 9-10-64. Max Stevens has Lee Matthews, the Collingwood coach.
Well, Lee, very happy man. The room's here ecstatic after a win here at Footy Park.
Well, we are. I mean, when you know it's going to be a wet, well, you don't know, but when it's a wet night game, it's just kind of anything can happen. And we got behind early. The guys sort of found their way back into it, kept missing goals in the third quarter, and then eventually got the break. So yeah, I mean, you're just so pleased to have won a game that could have gone either way.
Well, going back, coming here for that pre-season match, I mean, that really paid dividends because your players, or most of them, got to feel what it's like to play here at Footy Park.
Well, yeah, that was the idea, to have a bit of a familiarisation. I think, you know, if you play at a venue once, you've got a little bit of familiarity. If you play there 10 times, you know, you've got a lot of it. And a lot of our guys, except for maybe fellas who played in State of Origin, hadn't played here before. So, yeah, it was a pretty important part of our pre-season to experience a game over here. We even beat a practice game in February.
What was the preparation, Lee, going into the game? What did you say to the players?
Well, I think it's just a matter of, we wanted to make sure we come off the field and no one could say that the other team were harder than us, to be honest. That was the main thing, and we wanted to win, of course. But I mean, all your plans and structures go completely out the window when a wet, slippery yellow ball comes around. I mean, you could see players just couldn't handle the ball, really, and after the first 5 minutes of each quarter, particularly early, and it really is just you're on your edge of the seat all night. Goals come more by mistakes and slip-throughs than what you'd call constructive football, and so yeah, it's a nerve-wracking night.
Do you think Adelaide's still got a little bit to learn?
Well, on tonight, if they've got a little to learn, we've got a lot more, or just as much. No, I mean, they had a couple of their good players out, and I suppose we had a few out too, and you always know they're a completely different side over here. I mean, the home crowd buoys them up, and they have put in some terrific performances here week in, week out, and struggled a little bit interstate. So you really know when you come over here, if you can go away with a win, you feel like you have got a bit of a bonus.
Well, it was a team win, Lee, but not picking one player, but Brown's performance tonight.
Well, I mean, he had a bad game by his standards in the centenary game, and I think he was keen to make amends. And as I said to him and Tony, I think both were good. They just had to keep pushing their body in at the ball. I mean, you might get every 10th one if you were lucky, but you just had to keep working and hope the percentages would come. And you know, he's such a strong player.
Okay, well done tonight. As I said before, I said to Gavin Brown out in the ground, it's a game that you can win here at Footy Park. You might be able to win anywhere, Lee.
Well, I think every game's a different one, as we all know, but whenever you travel, it doesn't matter where sides are on the ladder. Whenever you travel, you're giving away an advantage. So, as I say, just it would have been nice to have won by a lot, but we're certainly very happy that we fell in rather than going home with their tail between our legs.
Well, I have noticed a little smile on Lee Matthews' face tonight.
Oh yes, I think it's always a nice feeling when you win the close games.
Okay, well done tonight and keep it up.
Fine, Max, thank you.
And that's a smile, Ross Glendinning. I thought it might have been, didn't you?
Yes, well, they would be very happy because they didn't play that well earlier, Bruce, but they fought their way back in, and players like you mentioned, Brown and Francis, had been quiet, particularly in that centenary match. Brown was just workmanlike all night, and Francis had Bickley on his tail, and he just kept going and going, and in the end, and Scott Russell, they broke free, and they were very telling players.
Yes, they trailed 5-5 to 1-4 at one stage, and from that moment on in the second quarter, kicked 8-11 to 4-5, so they had 19 scoring shots to 9, and they did really dominate. But in the end, Adelaide had its chance in the final term.
Oh, they did. Just a few little mistakes, mishandling of the footy, ill-directed kicks. There on screen, Hart did a lot for him. Jarman just showing a bit of class here. He gives it off to Lee, who finished off very well. But they just lacked someone down the centre of the ground, Bruce, particularly at centre forward where Klug so very often does a very good job for them, which allows an Ingerson and those players to be flankers rather than key position players, and that's where they lack that bit of drive.
McGuinness, obviously a body blow to them.
Oh, without doubt, and he's a player who really does set them up, and last week with McDermott, he had 38 touches, and in a losing side, it's a great effort.
But at the same time, I'm sure Tony Shaw would have played very well in these conditions.
Oh, yes, and Michael Christian, and of course Kerrison, another player too, Bruce, who wasn't playing, who's a good tagger, and the other fellow I like at Collingwood, Paul Williams, who's such a very creative player off a wing. Here we see Russell breaking free and finishing off. That's a crucial goal this time of the game, and he's a player they rely on so much.
Well, Collingwood drew 2 goals clear, and they looked as if they were safe after this performance. And the goal by McEwen, who had a good last term, but Adelaide was able to get back within a kick at the end, and it was very, very exciting.
Yeah, McEwen came back strongly, Bruce, because he has loaded his colours early to Modra, then Pert he altered and changed. Pert went on to Modra, held him reasonably well, although Modra finished up with 5. But match stats there, Adelaide, you can see a heap of the footy, nearly 350 touches, and Collingwood, but they're just showing greater advantage, using the footy far better. Hit-outs, Micken did well, Wren did very well when he came on, but perhaps a little bit too late.
Well, Adelaide going down after having 55 more handballs, but Collingwood prevailing in the end by 5 points in an absolute thriller, and the supporters are delighted. There are a number of them who have come over here tonight, more than 3,000, and they'll be going home delighted tomorrow, with Collingwood well and truly now entrenched in the top 6 and Adelaide up against it. So it has been a thrilling match. We take a break, back with more from Football Park after this. Welcome back to Football Park. Well, Max Stevens was talking to Lee Matthews a moment ago. Another protagonist tonight was Craig Kelly. Let's go back to the Collingwood rooms.
Well, Craig, first up, conditions out there, what were they like from a playing point of view?
bit wet and slippery. I mean, when we got over here, we thought today it was going to be pretty dry. Sort of, the rain had hold off, but it just started raining and sort of was a drizzle all night. It made it very slippery and hard to hold the ball.
Well, your own performance tonight, I said off camera, you asked me if I thought you had a shocker, and I wouldn't say. You're a bit big for me to say that, but first game back. But here at Adelaide, or at Football Park, you found it difficult usually, haven't you?
So you're still saying I've had a shocker, Max?
I'm not saying you had a shocker, I wouldn't say that.
No, I mean, I was it's my first game back for 5 weeks, a bit slippery. It was sort of a hard game to come back into, and I was just happy to get through it. I started to take a few grabs in the third quarter, and then I tired again in the last quarter, so the run will do me all the good, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Well, just on this week first, do you like playing a footy park?
I love playing footy. I've always really enjoyed playing here. It's a great surface. I mean, you could see even tonight when it was pretty wet and it had rained all week apparently, the surface is fantastic. The crowd, you know, very much Crows one-sided, but it was interesting tonight. It was the first time I've been in the state where you could really notice the other supporters, and I reckon it's fantastic that all the Collingwood people who came over and made an effort to get over here in those conditions, it was great to hear them.
And just finally, Geelong next week at Waverley.
Form side at the moment. I mean, they're kicking a hell of a lot of goals, and you know, at Waverley, I think it is. It's going to be a real test of us because we haven't beaten a side in the top 6 yet, and you know, we'll stake our claim. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you 8 out of 10 for tonight to keep you
thanks,
happy.
Max.
Okay, thanks
nice.
very much for talking to us, Craig Kelly.
Cheers.
Craig Ricketts gets 9 just for starting. Gavin Brown tonight.
Isn't he workmanlike? And those stats, particularly his marks, he's probably the best mark for his size in the league. And to finish up with 28 touches, a great effort.
Scott Lee's performance?
Yeah, I thought he did well. He and Scotty Russell separated for a while there, but that's probably one of his best games statistically for some time.
Right.
Yes, I thought he bottled up Tregenza very well, particularly in those last 3 quarters, and those stats show that. But he does get good value from his disposals as well.
Smart?
I think he certainly had the better there at centre-half back, and he's a player who can hold down that position because he's great in the air and he runs off very well, and that game tonight will do him the world of good.
Mickey McGuan?
Well, he had a good duel there with Jarman. I think he had the better of it, and in the end he was one of those players that gave Collingwood some great run.
They're 24 and 4. Let's see what Jarman had.
Well, again, he had disposals under pressure there, and he perhaps is relied upon so much to do so much for the side, but under pressure we're not quite as good tonight as he normally is.
Ross Glendinning looking at the individual stats. Well, there were some splendid marks taken here tonight, particularly by Anthony Modra. Let's have a look at some of the other great marks in 1992.
Goes straight towards goal. It was a little blind. Oh, Brown has taken a screamer. Goals can be kicked at either end.
Well, here are the high flyers. What a brilliant mark. Try and kick as long as he can. Alex McDonald and Paul Dewar. McDonald, a brilliant mark.
Wallace has the free kick at half-back. He kicks it in towards the centre. High flyer Grant, clean mark.
Kellett's kick gives Hawkins a hope. Oh, what a mark!
Murphy in towards full forward. Dale Lewis, oh, brilliant mark.
She's kicked that a long way for Johnny. Great mark, Crocker.
Langdon, pressure not bad. Grant's kick across his body. Winmar! Shoots in towards goal. Good looking kick. Oh, what a mark!
On his left foot. Long's outnumbered, good mark. Graham Wright has come back from nowhere.
Teammates probing kick, low. Good kick by Paxman. Oh, was that a free kick? He put his hands right in the middle of the player's back. By Bairstow. Floated towards half forward. Magnificent mark.
It's body strength.
Tugs it back towards the pocket. They come from all directions, and a magnificent mark is taken by Lowe. Swings play up towards centre wing. Oh, fabulous mark from Paul Williams. He kicks well inside the attacking. Oh, what a mark! Hodges.
Noonan, and down to the forward pocket. Hutton! What a mark!
On the wing, and he boots it down towards half forward. Kick it in this situation. Oh! Loves it.
Should steady, drop punt. McEwen, Stevens,
great effort.
Good mark.
Cross half back, very high kick down towards half forward. McPherson going back with courage. Kenny, superb mark. This gets it away to Roos, who kicks to half forward. Oh yes, what a mark! And what a fantastic effort by Gary Pickett.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1992 Premiership Season League ladder.
Collingwood fans have been pretty happy tonight. They're in third position, equal in match ratio and points with Geelong. But look at Geelong's whopping percentage of 170. That goal-scoring machine working for them. Footscray consolidated today with their win over Brisbane. Collingwood third, Hawthorn, St Kilda, and the big surprise there, Fitzroy. Well, I guess along with Footscray. Out of the 6, Carlton, West Coast. And I've got a feeling, Ross Glendinning, that they are the 8 chances to play in the top 6.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that, Bruce, and particularly West Coast just finding a bit of form. Their win yesterday was a very good one. Very hard to see other sides, as you mentioned, like North Melbourne, Essendon breaking through.
Melbourne right down in second last place. Now we've got a terrific round coming up. West Coast play Adelaide at the Wacker. Overwhelming favourites there, West Coast, finding some real form in the last 2 weeks.
Yes, without doubt, Bruce. But that next game coming along, Geelong Collingwood, we were just talking about, it should be almost a sellout at Waverley if you ever can get a game that's worthwhile going to. That will be one.
They're playing for top spot in many ways, and Collingwood's performance tonight was gritty, determined, but you just wonder whether they've got the firepower to match Geelong, who not only have Ablett firing and Brown up forward, but Stoneham and Brownless. Buse has become important again, and they've still got Couch and G. Hocking to come back.
That's right, and you look at the Collingwood backline tonight, they were under pressure at times. It was perhaps only Perth that held out at any one particular stage, so those games running through them, Bruce, a lot of them are very even, aren't they?
Well, Melbourne, North Melbourne, they're both struggling. Last-ditch effort, you'd think, for North Melbourne. Melbourne out of business, so they couldn't possibly make it. Carlton and Essendon, see it as a danger game for Carlton.
Yes. Essendon look forward to those games, and they often play well against Carlton.
Footscray would be favourite, though Richmond has bounced back and won today against Sydney, and they might fancy their chances there.
Yeah, that'll do them the world of good, but Richmond I wouldn't think would have the scoring power against Footscray.
St Kilda overwhelming favourites against Brisbane. I guess Tony Lockett would be licking his lips at the moment and wanting a big bag there. Now Sunday could be interesting because Hawthorn's record in Sydney is reasonable, but the Swans have been competitive there in the past.
Yes, Hawthorn without doubt will be looking for a big win there, but Sydney aren't without the chance of winning that game, and I know you and another person might have a bit of a wager on that, Bruce.
Well, Peter McKenna's very keen on one of the two. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Hawthorn. Now the State of Origin, it's coming up in a week and a half's time. Yeah. Now Western Australia really rode on the back of the success of the Eagles last year. They were brilliant at the Wacker. The Eagles are gathering momentum, so it's a good sign for WA.
Well, I'll be interested to see, Bruce, too, who Mick Malthouse, who's coaching again, having said at the end of last year that it was just too stressful to do both jobs, to be state coach and the Eagles coach, and he's taken the job on again, and I'll be interested to see how many Eagles players they do select.
Well, we asked Mal Brown that on Sports World this morning, and he thought around about 13 or 14.
That's usually about the number, but with a few players like McKenna's and Turley's and Mainwaring, those last two not in such good form, they've been automatic picks. I'll be interested to see who they do select.
Yes, a lot of their better players have struggled. A good sign for West Coast and for WA was Sue